Welcome back to the show, lads, where you've got yourself a couple of blokes sitting around the round table, sipping on a pint, discussing topics regarding destiny.
Guardian down.
Hey, what's up, gang? Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today. Welcome to episode 71 of Guardian Downcast. We're a couple dads that talk about all things in the Destiny universe, and we also interview content creators and community members to find out more about them. Think of us as the light side of Destiny talk. I mean, we get serious too, but we like to joke around a bit too. I'm your host, The Gator, and my co-host, Mr. Hazelnut, is here as well. How you been, man? How's your week been this week?
Yeah, my week's been good, man. Sunday, Friday, like before we recorded, Chris3711 sent me a computer and he's like, check this out. So I was just like, yeah, all right, fine, whatever. And I was like, wow, that's a really pretty decent computer. I shopped it around to a couple people and they were just like, yeah, that's pretty solid, but look at this. And I'm like, all right. And then he sent me another one like Sunday morning or Saturday morning and goes, hey, did you pull the trigger on that one yet? He's like, because this one looks better. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I did my own research and shopped it out. And some people were just like, yeah, that's a really solid computer. You need to get that. So I ended up Sunday buying a computer. So I am choosing frames over friends.
I just guess that means I'll be playing some Call of Duty for a week.
Yep. Yes, you will. We're going to push that out, though.
Thank you. You know what? Let's do this. You pick the week, and I'll play Call of Duty. Is it the new one? Are we playing the new one?
No, it's just going to be Warzone.
Okay.
Per the bet from
Yes, Chris. You're right. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that, buddy. Jeez.
Yep. But so no, I've been playing on PC and I've got some thoughts about that, but more about that later though. Aside from that, work's been okay. I'm trying to burn through the rest of my vacation time for the next 4 or 5 weeks. So I'll plan on being on a little bit more.
Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you, man?
Well, 3 things happened to me this week. The first one is Monday morning, I was running on my treadmill. I love my treadmill, by the way. And all of a sudden, the belt just slipped like a banana peel, just goes, zzz, and right in the middle of running, I jumped off of it. I'm like, holy crap, what the hell? So I've been piecing that thing together for a long time. I had a JB Weld, a pulley and stuff on it where it was long story short, it finally gave up the ghost, and so I just got offline just now and was getting a new treadmill because I can't go without my treadmill. And the second thing that happened to me was my best buddy I bowl with got the Rona, and I had a little bit of a scare on Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. I had to break off work early and go down and get quick tested, and thank goodness I was negative. But I sat 4 feet across from this guy at the bowling alley without a mask. So I know what we do is we don't wear a mask when I'm sitting at the table. And then when I get up and go with the crowd, you wear a mask, and I'll be wearing a mask all night this Monday. So it won't happen again. And the last thing is I pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2077 on Steam for PC. I guess I got to blame 30 and Still Gaming. Him and his brother got me all hyped up the other night, and I was like, I got to pull the trigger on this. So I know they've delayed it, and it's coming out. It's going to come out in December. So it'll be my little thing I like to do when I'm not playing Destiny. So I'm looking forward to it. So, well, enough about us. We have a newcomer on the show this week. He's a gamer dad. He's a Discord community member and a new streamer. It's our friend, Mr. SweatySpookz. Hey, man, how you doing?
Good. Doing good.
Good deal, man. Well, just a quick overview of tonight's show. First, we're going to get into SweatySpookz' story. Then we're going to test his fast-thinking twitch reflexes with our patented fast-fire segment we call the Speed Run. Hazel's going to go over the TWAB for this second week of Season of the Hunt and Beyond Light. And finally, we'll answer questions from our community and add 2 songs each to our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify and iTunes. All right, everybody ready?
I'm good.
All right, let's ride. Hey, thanks for listening to Guardian Downcast. You can find us on Twitter at Guardian_D_cast.
Or, you can find us on Instagram at Guardian_Down_cast and see what pics our weekly guests want to share with you.
Or Hazel, just visit our website at GuardianDowncast.com for all the contact information and where else you want to find us. And you can also play any past episodes you like in any order you like, right from your browser.
Don't you or me, man. Anyway, so hey, Guardians, check us out, and later, Guardians.
Toddles.
Hey, that's my line, man. Hey, Sweaty. So, thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate you for coming on. How you been?
Thanks for having me. I've been doing good. This past week, man, it has been both a curse and a blessing. Blessing in the sense of new content, all kinds of new stuff to do, things to explore. A curse in the sense that I'm not sleeping. I mean, I work a full-time job, 40 hours a week minimum, sometimes more. Full-time dad all the time. Especially right now, my wife, she's an RCW and she's working overnights past couple of nights. So it's just me and the little one. And then I just basically get to play in the evenings. And, well, I'm sure you guys understand when it comes to being a competitive gamer. And once you start excelling or getting excited about something, it is near impossible to put that controller down and you kick yourself in the morning.
Hey, Hazel, I haven't used this term in a long time, man. SweatySpookz, you got destiny-itis, man.
Yep. Yeah, I sure do.
Don't worry, you're not alone, man.
Yeah, no, you're definitely not alone, especially not right now. Everybody's trying to get the raid race ready and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Are you going to be part of that?
Not the raid race, no. I've been asked and I thought about it, but with my wife working overnights, she's going to want to sleep throughout the day. And not that I can play Destiny, but I don't want to have something that's very involving day one intensive and have to take care of my daughter at the same time. So
yeah, of course, I get that.
Yeah.
Well, sir, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up a little north of you fellas in a place called Canada, in a province, not a state, called Prince Edward Island. We're pretty well as far east as you can go. Other than maybe Newfoundland and Labrador. It's nice kind of being on the island in a sense of, I guess, our current world state. You have to cross a bridge or cross water to get to PEI. So we're disconnected from what we would call the mainland. And it's just very nice because we kind of have a benefit, or I guess, in that aspect. So when things shut down, you're not getting across and you're not coming to visit anytime soon until things get a little bit better. But yeah, we were just lucky that way.
Well, what's this Prince Edward Island all about? I mean, what's an average day in Prince Edward Island? I've never been to this place before.
Well, Prince Edward Island is basically you get your summer Prince Edward Island, and then you have your winter Prince Edward Island. Nobody's around from away, that is, in winter Prince Edward Island. I shared a picture at one point in the Discord there.
I remember it.
Oh, man. 2015, I think it was. We had a blizzard and literally had 16 feet of snow drop all in one night. You weren't leaving your house. You weren't going anywhere. Admittedly, every winter ever since has been quite mild. So it's almost like, here, you're going to have the next 5 years of snow all in one night. Good luck shoveling that out. Summertime, on the other hand, though, oh man, that's my favorite. We're all about food. Like, there's a lot of musical talent here on the island. So everywhere you walk and go, there's always somebody out playing a guitar, or, all the, I guess, venues all have live acts going on. And the number one thing that tourists say is it's the people that really, like the locals that make PEI what it is.
Well, I was just going to ask you if it's a tourist town. So apparently, I guess
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
we heavily depend on tourist season. So the summer just passed. We were kind of forced to take a step back from the touristy season, of course.
Yeah.
So we hear quite a bit from, I guess, just our local radio stations of how that's hurt our economy and things like that. But I mean, hey, it is what it is, and I think there's no economy if we don't have health to begin with.
Oh, it's great. Florida, we don't pay income tax in Florida because our tourism taxes cover it all. It's really nice. We tax everyone who comes into our state, so it's a great thing.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: you said your wife was a nurse. She was a registered nurse.
Yeah, she's a RCW, which basically just stands for resident care worker.
Okay.
She takes care of old people.
Okay, I got you. Well, what do you do to pay the bills, sir?
I work for a company called Sekisui Diagnostics. I'm going to give you two versions of what my job is. First, I'm going to give you the proper term and kind of leave a question mark in your forehead saying, what is this guy saying? And then I'll give you the bare bones English version of it. So,
Okay.
I work for a company that does in vitro diagnostic chemical manufacturing. And to give you the dumbed down, I guess, sort of version, we make diagnostic kits. So if you go to a doctor for checkups or you're going to get a COVID test, any sort of a test that's done outside of the body, the Sekisui manufactures the diagnostic kits to the hospitals and doctors for them to use to be able to provide you a diagnostic of some sort or a test. So we're kind of the providers of that.
Wow.
Very cool.
Yeah,
You're
so-
not busy at all right now.
No.
I haven't stopped, man. And I mean, it's good at the same time though, because I'm hearing of these other cats that are just not having a good time and just struggling. And I feel for those people for sure. Meanwhile, I can't say that I haven't been working the entire time, and I'll get into that later on. But I'll say that my return to work, I have not stopped. So, but it's good. It's good. My role in the company, I work in the packaging department. So they'll start with in production, basically just making the reagent. It's basically just like large drums of fluid is what it looks like. And then when it comes to packaging, we'll dispense it into bottles, and it comes to me. My job as a labeler is to label that bottle and put it into the cold room. Whenever I'm not in the labeler, I'll be on the assembly lines. So basically just putting finished said product into a kit box and then labeling it, putting the insert in just to describe to whoever what that kit is in the shippers and out the door. Yeah.
Interesting, man.
If you're interested at all, I did share a short video. Recently, we had the government come in and kind of videotape us, I guess, on the job site. I'm not in the video, but everybody that I work with, including my bosses, is in that video. And I shared that in the check this out section of your guys' Discord, just if you were interested. If not, whatever.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. When did you share that? Because I'm thinking, I think I did see this.
It wasn't too long ago. If it wasn't yesterday, as we record this being the 20th of November, it may have been the day before.
Okay. I'll find it. We'll find it. Yeah, just pin it. We'll just pin it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Well, so let's go into the gaming history kind of thing. So,
Ooh, the meat and potatoes.
Yeah. So, what was your earliest moment in gaming that you can remember?
You know, I can still remember this clear as day. I would have been 4 years old. I can still remember the address and the apartment that we lived in, and I can still remember walking up those stairs, hitting the buzzer to get the door to open into the apartment building, walking up the stairs, turning right to get to my front door. And every day after school, or I guess this would have started at daycare, even being 4 years old, Sega Genesis. And I would be able to rap Sonic at that age. Yeah. I knew how to troubleshoot it. So, for example, you put in the cartridge, it's not working. My dad showed me maybe once or twice, and I'd figure out, okay, so you got to take the cartridge out and you got to make sure there's no dust in it, put it back in. If that's not working, reconnect your AV cables. If that's not working, try your power cable again. Like, and I just grasped all this at an early age. But anyways, moving on from Sega, The next system that I got would have been the very first original PlayStation with the black colored underdisc. I remember that.
Ooh, yes.
Crash Bandicoot, all that fun stuff. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
It actually back then, what was popular as well with those systems was throwing in like a soundtrack, watching like, I don't know, the video that it used to do for the music and stuff like that. I used to think that was really cool. Moving on from that, let's see. I think it was a handheld. Yeah, a Nintendo Game Boy Color.
Nice.
Spoiler alert, I am a major Pokemon nerd.
Wonderful.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Yeah, you know.
I have been playing that game since the days of Pokemon Red when it first originally come out. And I still haven't stopped. To this day, what I like to do with Pokemon is what's called shiny hunting. Basically, as an example, let's say you were trying to breed eggs and one day you just got a Charmander, for example, and it just seemed like an off color. Charmander is kind of a poor example because it's really not too different until it's a Charizard. So we know that the base color is usually orange. By the time that is a fully evolved Pokemon to, let's say, Charizard, it is black in color with red color on the inside of the wings. So I always thought that was really neat. So anyways, that was one of the first major times that I just completely dove into video games. Moving on from, well, there's other Nintendo products, but I can get into that later. And then I think it would have been, see, there was a few droughts in between these things as well, right? There's very light PC gaming, maybe back in like Windows 95, if you remember those days.
Minesweeper, yeah.
And getting into XP, there was like Need for Speed Most Wanted, if you remember that game, or what was the other one? Need for Speed Carbon with the drifting. I thought that game was so awesome. And then Age of Empires, which I still play today. I love that game. Any of the Firaxis games, such as Civilization.
Now we're talking,
I still have some of those games on my crappy little laptop, but they were super cheap and they work on a Windows XP. Figured it's not that much memory. So
they're graphically, they're not too challenging. Did you ever play Empire Earth?
No, I didn't get into that one.
That was a great game. I still love that game.
Which actually brings me to one of the first FPS games that I really enjoyed. I'm not sure if this was before or after Halo. But it would have been Enemy Territory. What was No, I'm trying to think of what it's called now. That sucks. Brain fart. I'm sorry. It's not Castlevania. It's Wolfenstein. That's it. Wolfenstein Enemy Territory. If you remember that.
Yeah, we do.
Oh man, I still love that game, but and then after that, of course, I kind of dabbled into it. I get into Xbox and the original Xbox, fell in love with Halo, still love Halo. I got a 360 for a short time, fell into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, learned how to quick scope, and then there was a very long dry period where I just didn't have anything because of poor life choices. And like I said, I'll get into that later on. But we are back on Xbox and loving it ever since.
You going to get the Series X?
Oh, absolutely.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. So what about PlayStation 5? Any interest in that at all?
I tried to, I tried to.
Okay, I'll say this. If there's interest, do I have the finances? Absolutely not for both.
Okay. I wasn't sure because some people are like diehard.
Yes, they are. Some of them are.
And that's where I was going with that one to see, like, you know, what camp are you in, that kind of thing.
I went. Funny story. I went into the Potato Thumbs podcast. And I said, "Who here is getting the PS5? Anybody?" And Fluffy comes on and goes, "You will not speak of that demon console here." I'm like, "Oh shit! Okay." Well, hey, what now? Do we call you Sweaty? Do we call you Spookz? What's up easy? What do people call you in game?
It's kind of both.
Okay.
Really, it doesn't really matter to me.
Well,
you can call me Sweaty, you can call me Spookz, whatever works.
Well, let me ask you this: how did you find Destiny, man?
Oh, that's another fun story. So this would have been a few years ago now. So I'll get into this in one of your other questions later on, but I did 10 years of tech support work in call centers. Obviously not being where I'm at now, but one of the former, I guess, people that I used to work with, his name's David, or I guess his in-game name is KnightX15, who's also our clan leader and lives in the same province as me, so I can't leave. Otherwise, he'll find me and hurt me in my sleep. He he introduced me to the game. This would have been after D1. It hurts me to say that too. I really wish I could have had a system when D1 was a thing and just have been there to experience it with you guys. Because, oh man, trying to do that now while it's not exactly, I don't know, the game, I guess. It's a whole different experience from what I'm hearing, because I am trying to go back and play through it. And a lot of the things do stick. Like, for example, exotics, and oh man, they definitely don't drop like it feels at all in D1. But I mean, you're not getting your live events, and I don't know. It's just different in D1 right now compared to being used to D2. But anyways, I started as a very squishy warlock and completely under light level. My first 2 years of playing D2 was just trying to reach light cap, or at least soft cap. And as soon as I'd creep up to it at the end of the season, of course, new season, and you were going to be under level again. You're going to have to do that all over. And yeah, it was a long road, but man, I am so glad I stuck with it, because it's an amazing game. I love this game. I love the community. I'm starting to see how everything works. I did play as a solo player for the longest time. And I mean, yes, there was my buddy that introduced me, which we still play the game together and the clan. But life does happen sometimes. We aren't the largest clan by any means. So sometimes lining things up just doesn't work, and that's okay. So, I mean, that's where the community kind of comes into play. And I'll say that I have not been a fan of online communities in general, especially after being exposed to what is Modern Warfare 3 or in Call of Duty online communities in general. So the fact that I can be here with you guys as an example really kind of sets a precedence for me of what a Destiny community should be and what it means to me.
Yeah, good answer, man.
Nice. Well, thank you, man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, okay, there's a couple of ways that I want to go off of this now, because I mean, you've opened the door so much where I'm kind of like, okay, well, which way do I want to go with this? So, I mean, let's just go with this. So, you're starting your own community now.
Yeah, I'm starting to, yeah.
Yeah. What prompted you to do that?
Well, mostly it just started with the clan, because, I mean, when it comes to the clan, we're all really close buds. Like, we have some people from the States. I know that Coin of Death, who is our crowned jewel when it comes to Crucible PvP. Maybe sometimes he's not on, and it's just kind of like, I'm missing my shield, man. I'm going into battle and I don't have my shield. Like, negative 25 defense, like resilience gone. What happened? And it just like the KD drops, and I'm like, ugh. But me and him, like, we play so much Crucible together that we just understand how one another plays. Like, he'll go right, and I just know what he's going to do, so I'll go left, and I'll try doing a pinch point with him or something like that. And you don't really get that when you're playing with blueberries. And no offense to blueberries, because we are I'm somebody's blueberry out there, that is for sure. But
yeah,
whenever the chemistry of your teammates aren't there and stuff, I don't know, it's just different. So I decided to make the community so that way if either myself or one of the clan members, or maybe somebody's watching my stream wondering, maybe I want to get into Destiny, but I don't really know anybody, that kind of a thing. That's what it's for. It's to reach out, connect with another Guardian that isn't an LFG poster elo POS kind of thing. We've all had those memories or experiences with LFGs. Yeah. So it's just, I just want to make a safe spot for everybody to kind of come together and maybe fire team recruit or, maybe even just hang out and chit chat with everybody, whatever.
Nice. So you mentioned PvP there. So what's your go-to, or well, I would say before Beyond Light, maybe, what was your go-to PvP loadout? Now, I've watched your stream, so I kind of know the answer, but, go for it.
Well, here's the thing. I am constantly ever evolving when it comes to PvP. Originally, it was, I guess when I was on Warlock, it was a bow and I don't know, but maybe a shotgun as well. Now, I mained a Warlock for all of Forsaken whenever I first started playing Destiny. And then next came Shadowkeep. So once Shadowkeep came, I was like, I don't know about the Warlock, man. I mean, I know everybody else does great with it, but I just want to try something else. So I mained a Titan, unfortunately. And throughout the duration of Shadowkeep, yeah, I shouldn't say unfortunately, actually, because I had a lot of fun with it. I say unfortunately because I'm going to openly and happily admit that I was straight crayon diet in Crayola, wielding an assault rifle. I think it was Tiger Spite at the time, and then it moved on to Suro's Regime and the Mindbenders, and Mindbenders was my best friend. Then I'm trying to think of what season it was. I think it was season of Worthy, maybe. Is that the Seraph Towers that you had in the bunkers? Sorry.
Yep, that's Worthy.
Oh.
CQC shotgun.
Yeah.
I knew you were going there.
Here's the thing. I don't know what was going on. I think it was because the season before season of Worthy, Coin of Death that I had mentioned earlier, he kind of gave me a little nudge into PvP because I was terrified of PvP. I was like, I don't want a Crucible. Like, I don't know how to Crucible. Are you kidding? And he's like, dude, just do it. And then, what was it, like 2 weeks later, I come back and I'm like, Coin, man, I haven't slept these past 2 weeks. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, I just went and got my Recluse and my Revoker and my Luna's Howl in one go. And he was like, dude. So, I started falling into PvP from that tiny little nudge and took it way too far. And it was definitely Suro's Regime and Mindbenders. And coming on to the end of the previous season, Prophet of Doom from Garden of Salvation, I have a 98 range on my shotgun. Terrible rolls, but the range that I have on it, man, like...
Is that a? I don't have that one. Is that a slug shotgun or? No,
that's a precision archetype frame shotgun. Yeah,
98 range. Wow. I don't think I've ever.
It might be 96, but it's definitely above 95.
I don't think I've ever seen a shotgun with that kind of range. Wow.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to share a screenshot of it.
Hell yeah! Well, why don't you throw that on our Instagram? We'll throw it up on Instagram. I want to see this gun, man. Definitely. Well, hey, dude, I gotta ask Hazel, dude, what's up with the gamer tag?
Oh man, I'm full of great stories. Okay, so I went through 2 in-game name changes. SweatySpookz being the third. Now, Gator, I think you've shared it a few times on your podcast. We all know your first name to be Todd, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So my first name is Colby, and whenever I was just a young lad, fresh out of the high school, some of my school buds at the time, they used to call me Colbage, spelled Colbage. Now, whenever you type this out and read it, oh man, I would go on Twitch just to hang out with some guys, see like what they're doing. Maybe I want to learn something Pokemon related or Call of Duty related or something. They're like, Colbag. And I'm like, oh no. Where's this cold bag coming from? What? And I was like, okay, no, I got to think of something cooler than this. So they're like, cold bag? What? So, few years of getting sick of being called cold bag, and I was heavy into learning guitar and stuff. I think I just got my Dean Razorback Lightning Dimebag edition, I guess, and I was learning the Cowboys from Hell stuff, and I was like, you know what? Let me just see if this gamer tag's taken. And I type up Pantera, and every Pantera name that I could think of was taken. And then I was like, so I spelled it correctly, and the correct spelling is a capital P at the first, capital A at the end. And my favorite musician of all time is Dimebag Darrell. And he had a thing with 333. That was just his thing. So I was like, Pantera 333. And it wasn't taken. So I was like, sweet. So after using that for a little bit, I found that people just kept calling me Panter. And I was like,
oh my God.
Stop insulting my favorite band. I was like, I got to come up with something original, something like unique to me. Now, SweatySpookz wasn't my first thought. The first one that I had in mind, I was scared was going to get me banned. It was actually Sweaty Gherkins. And the reason why I thought of that was the exact reason that we just heard from Hazel, just to get a laugh out of people. But I was like, after thinking about it, I was like, well, if I'm going to be playing like Apex or, anything that's free to play, and there's these little kids looking at my name being like, Mom, what's a Sweaty Gherkin? Like, I was like, yeah, no, I'll probably just use that as my in-game name in Warzone, because I know that you can change it to something different in there.
All right.
But no, it is my actual gamer tag. And I was like, I like Halloween things. I love all things Halloween. Let's try SweatySpookz. And sure enough, it was the original. There was nothing like it, and I was able to use it. So I was like, sweet. Original name? Fuck yeah.
Sweaty because of the PvP? Is that where it's come from?
Yep, that came from Luna's and my Revoker whenever I went and got all that in 2 weeks.
I got you. Nice.
I was given the sweaty name from the clan mates.
Nice. What's the name of your clan, by the way?
It is House of Boring Devils. And
Nice.
The little message that goes along with that is hell is empty and all the devils are here.
Nice. I like that. I always look at clan descriptions just to see how creative people can be with it.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. Well, so question for you outside of gaming stuff. We're kind of transitioning out of that. So, do you have any hobbies other than gaming?
I have
Sounds like
many
music.
hobbies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I grew up as only child. Now I do have siblings, but with my, I'll say, parental situation growing up, I never really got to meet my siblings till later on in life, which is fine. So I lived out in the country for a good portion of my youth. And I mean, it's not like our neighbors were miles and miles away or anything, but it's like, we have an old couple that live to one side, which is fine. I still went over to visit them and stuff and eat their plums from their plum tree. I was more than happy to do that for them. And to the other side, we're just young children whenever I was like starting to approach my teen years. So I was like, I want to hang out with young children. That's kind of weird. But yeah, so I kind of grew up secluded. I had a lot of time in my hands and I was constantly getting myself into trouble. So I might have had the Xbox for a couple of years and I promptly got that taken away and probably grounded for about 9 out of the 12 months because just being stupid. So to keep my mom from going insane, sitting and moping at the end of the stairs inside of the living room, just being like, oh, I'm bored. I had asked if we could make a compromise and if she would get me a guitar, and that would keep me from being off of anything considered digital. I could go outside with it. I could go wherever. It made me feel better. And it was something that I could focus on and be semi-productive on. Now, it was a bit of a fight at first because she was like, well, I don't know, because I don't know who's going to teach you how to use the instrument. I don't know how you're going to learn how to tune it. And I was like, Mom, I don't care. Just get me something that's made of wood, a freaking plank with 6 strings on it. I don't care. She went out and got me one. And I think I spent, and here's I was never allowed to listen to heavy music at that age, right? My mom, this is going to tell you how conflicting my childhood was. My mom was dragging me to church every Sunday. Not that I have anything against that, because I don't. But at that time, she was like, you need to read your Bible. You need to say thanks before supper. And I now as an adult understand the value behind all those things. But when you're a kid and you don't get out to hang out with your friends or anything like that, last thing you want to do is do everything that you're told to do when it comes to that sort of a thing. It's like, let me explore it on my own. Stop shoving it into my face. Stop jamming all this down my throat at the age of 14. Like, I'm sorry, but it's just like, I want to be able to play Xbox and video games and hang out with my friends, and I'm not allowed to do any of that right now. Halfly because I did it myself, but the other half, it's like, you're suffering me here, or not suffering, suffocating me. But she was definitely a bubble wrap parent, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I understand now being a parent myself. But
Yeah.
that's also why I got in so much trouble as I did, because I was constantly told no. It didn't matter how well I did my chores and whatever else and blah blah. The answer was always no. I don't like your friends or things like that. So I got into guitar. I did a lot of talking myself as a child, which led into something else. I've always wanted to be a voice actor for like cartoons or something, and I'm infatuated with listening to accents in the English language. So maybe a couple of episodes, you may have noticed I did a speak pipe where I was speaking like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
We know it. We heard it.
Oh man. And I used to have a lot of fun with it. It was a good way for me to, not have to be around other people and make myself laugh. And you know what? I think that is 100% acceptable, to be able to entertain yourself in that aspect. Who cares if somebody walks by, sees you talking to yourself and thinks you're a crazy person? Because you know what? If that person would have spent 2 minutes just talking to you, they would have realized, oh, okay, this is just a part of their interests or something like that. So, but anyways, let's see. Yeah, I think that's really about it. Just music and lots of artsy stuff too. Like I draw a lot. Most of my tattoos I've drawn myself.
Very cool. Wow, that's nice. Yeah. What's your tattoos of?
Let's see. So on my left leg, I have one of Princess Peach. That's to honor my daughter. When she was born, she just kind of reminded me of a little peach, I guess, with the peach fuzz, and
that's cool.
Just this cute little bald thing that is half of me. And
nice.
So I got a tattoo to honor her for that. My first tattoo was whenever I was 16. My mom loved it. No, she didn't. My father, however. My dad, I mentioned about my mom. I'm going to touch on my dad right quick. He's a biker. Now, he doesn't ride with any, biker gangs. He doesn't wear cuts and colors or anything, but he can still ride with those guys. Okay. Where he lives, his longtime girlfriend, she runs a daycare at her home. So him to pull up with, Baka's cut on is not very positively reflecting her business. So no, he's a good guy, but he's also he's very tough. I've shared a couple pictures in the Discord for Guardian Downcast. If you've seen him, you're going to notice that this man is just utterly covered in tattoos, being where I get it from. So when I was 16, I got a treble clef on my right leg, except it was made out of what kind of looks like sheet metal. And then I made a banner that basically said music written in almost what looked like music notes, and the banner was a music staff, and at the top of the treble clef it's all like a regular staff, but as it gets lower and lower on the banner, each line kind of starts to break off on its own, and the notes kind of start to fall off the staff, and that's just a representation of freedom.
I could see that.
It's kind of just saying metal music helps me to feel free of myself and the everyday weight that people can carry. And I don't know, it's just an outlet. That's really all it is.
Can you read music?
I can, but nice. I'm going to be sitting there for 15, 20 minutes reading 3 or 4 notes trying to translate it.
Transpose it? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
But I do much better with guitar tabulature.
Okay.
Much better.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. I also have an owl tattoo on my chest. Just trying to think of my other tattoos. Inside my right bicep, I have a golden pocket watch with 2 roses that says, "This is my time." On the outside of my right arm is a microphone shrouded in what almost looks like clouds and thunder in a storm. and underneath goes down to a couple of feathers and a cassette tape that's kind of broken, also representing freedom. Inside of my left arm is sort of like a cowboy standing with his back to you, cross-gunned behind the backs, and it's coded PALS, 1974 to 2004. That's a in-memory tattoo.
Okay.
For Billy.
Do you have
McFarlane.
Do you have a picture of that broken cassette?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, please send that to us.
That's a funny story as well.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's my age. I mean, I love cassettes. I grew up around the cassettes tapes, so I'd be curious to see it.
I mentioned to you guys I made some poor choices as a young lad. Now, that tattoo I drew on receipt paper with pen while I was maybe on acid. I'm not proud of my choices, but they've also shaped me to be who I am today.
Kids, don't do drugs.
Yeah, please don't. It's really not worth it. I can tell you all the years that you can lose on your life and miss out on opportunities such as D1.
That's awesome. All right. Well, sir, one of my favorite questions to ask is, do you have any mottos or mantras that you live by?
Yes, I do.
Sounds like freedom is a big thing, but yeah.
It is, yes. 5 words, 2 different things. First off, I'm going to say the nice one. It's appreciate you. Both of these mottos, I guess, come from the same place and story. So in my Discord, you may see a name pop up every now and then. His name's Kill Count. He's one of my in real life friends. His name is Mike. A couple of years ago, in the middle of the summer, we have a lot of music festivals on Prince Edward Island. So we were having the country music festival, and I think Luke Bryan was there that summer. But it was the first summer that I got invited by Mike to go be a stagehand at that show and make a couple extra dollars. So whenever I was there working, we had been working with Luke Bryan's team, and they had driven from Boston the night before overnight to deliver his equipment, and we were going to set it up. So these guys hadn't slept yet, and they were just the nicest, happiest, go-lucky people I think I have ever met. And one thing I noticed about them was anytime you did something for them, no matter how big or small it was, they had always followed it up with thank you, appreciate you. And that really resonated home with me at the time because for anybody who may understand anything to do with the struggle of mental health, Desraven, I'm looking at you, buddy. I feel you. I'm right there with you. Appreciate you. Those 2 simple words can make such a big impact on somebody who may be struggling with something that you're not aware of. And from that moment on, I kind of realized the impact it had on me and the kind of impact it can make on somebody else just for something so easy and simple. Something as simple as holding the door open for someone behind you just to say, hey, I appreciate you. And that meant a lot to me at the time. So I took that forward. Now, the next 3 words, they're kind of light feeling. It's supposed to make you laugh. And I'm so sorry if it's maybe inappropriate, but it kind of comes from the same thing. Anytime that I jump in with the clan boys and we're going to get ready to play Crucible, we always say these 3 words to each other, and it's big dick energy.
I love it.
It's just to keep things light. It's a good way to put a smile on your face. And the first time I heard that, I actually fell to the ground, holding my gut, laughing because it was just like, oh, such a good memory. But yeah, and I took that forward with me as well, and that's our thing, big dick energy.
I kind of, tell me if I'm off base here, but I would think you would say that because you're kind of reminding each other that it's just a game.
100%.
That's kind of what when you say that, that's kind of what I feel when you say that. So I was just curious.
Yeah, it's just a game, but we're going to go full sweat bags on these guys.
And you're kind of making fun of yourselves a little bit too. So.
100%.
I like that. I like that. Dude, you're very insightful. I love it. This is a great interview, man. I like this.
Thank you.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask my favorite question, Hazel. And that is, what is one thing that maybe your gamer buds don't know about you?
I would think that'd have to come down to a little comment I mentioned earlier about wanting to always be a voice actor of some sort. I mean, I've never explored it. Being on PEI, an isolated island from even the rest of the country to begin with, there's little to no opportunity for something like that. I guess I don't really know how to practice or audition for something like that, who to reach out to. I don't know any of that kind of stuff. I'd love to, but it's never seemed like something within my reach. And I could mix that in with some of my musical talents as well, because usually I have that ability where I can just listen to a tune, pick up my guitar and start playing it like right away. But I don't know. I've always wanted to explore that, and I just never have.
Dude, you have a strong voice. I mean, God, you put mine to shame, man. I'm like, I'm trying to talk deep into the mic here. I'm not insecure, not at all.
You'll hit puberty one day, Gator.
One day.
Yeah. But, well, hey, Sweaty, one thing, I know this is kind of weird for me to mention it here, but something that you could do possibly would be like audiobooks. I think that Amazon actually does something where you can actually like do like voiceover. I can like, narrate a book or something like that. And you'll get a cut of it too. So a friend of mine did that. So
yeah, you have a very easy voice. It's very easy to listen to you. Your way you approach and talk.
I appreciate that, laddie.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's awesome. Well, sir, I thank you so much for this. And Gator, hey, I think we have a speed run.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ooh. Yeah, we haven't done one of these in a while.
I'm trying. Yeah, me too. How do we do this again?
Here's hoping you asked the question speedy enough.
Well,
a lawsuit.
We'll see. All right. Well, thank you, SweatySpookz. That was a great interview, man.
Yes,
man.
Thank you, man.
All right, we'll do that right after this.
Call the Praxic Order. Call the Thanatonauts, the Jinsen Scribes. Call everyone so they can witness you.
Okay, listeners, this segment is called the Speed Run. This is where we have a database of over 125 randomly asked questions, and SweatySpookz here is going to have 60 seconds to answer as many as he can. These are short 1 or 2 word answers, and at the end of the year, the guest with the most answer will win a cool prize and the title of 2020 Speedrun Champion. And we only got a few more weeks left till the end of the year. Isn't that crazy, Hazel? Damn.
I can't believe it, man.
Jeez. Well, just remember the questions are randomly asked. No one can memorize the order. And just answer whatever comes to mind as quickly as you can. I think I've got some good ones drawn up tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing what you say to these. Tonight, I'm going to ask the questions, of course, randomly from our list. Not so randomly. Hazel is the timekeeper and quality control expert. In the event of a questionable answer, Hazel's decision will be final. Xanafan 711 is still our leader at 27. So SweatySpookz, you ready?
Okay.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ikora, Cade, or Zavala?
Cade.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Dogs or cats?
Cats.
Warlock, Titan, or Hunter?
Warlock.
DC or Marvel?
DC.
If you could take one famous person to dinner, who would it be?
Brad Pitt.
If you had to choose one, first or third person games?
First.
Grenades or melees?
Melee.
Boxer, briefs, or thong?
Boxer briefs.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Have coffee.
Anna Bray or Ada 1?
8-1.
What's the one thing that annoys you most?
Everything.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate.
Do you have a tattoo?
Many.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
What color is your toothbrush?
Green.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Both.
Where is your ideal vacation?
Florida.
Pineapple on pizza?
Nope.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
Have you ever been in a band?
No.
Vader or Yoda?
Vader.
Are you afraid of heights?
Nope.
Damn, he came close, man. He came close.
I think we should give him like at least like one more. I mean,
well,
because he hit those 2 questions. I mean, first or third person, and then the other one that was like a novel.
But that one was an either or though. But I tell you what, I'll ask you one more. That's fair. I'll ask you one more. Here it is. Electric or acoustic guitar?
Electric.
All right. Cool deal. Dude, you were really good. I don't think you got the record, but I'll be honest, you did really good tonight, man.
You were moving, man.
You were. I was asking quick too, Hazel. Can't knock me, man.
You were. You just hit a couple of those novel long questions.
Well, everybody has to answer those, man. I'm sorry. The structure of the questions is exactly the same. from guest to guest. I just break up what questions are asked. So,
I know.
well, Hazel, how do you do, man?
I hit 25.
Yeah, that was good, man.
Ooh,
So close.
Yep.
I'm still trying to figure out how Xanafan 711 got it. He was booking, man. I think he just opened his mind and it just flowed. He was just in the zone.
What was it? What was Sin and Kingsley Max?
They were 26.
26.
Yeah.
Dang, that was the number I was going.
We can't talk about it though because there's still a pending litigation. We're not supposed to mention their names, but anyway. Hey, I've got a question for all you listeners out there. Do you have a great question for our speed run? If that's a yes, join our Discord and enter them in our Speedrun Question Ideas channel. We'll add them to next year's speedrun. And remember, there's only a few weeks left, so we're running out of time. Just remember, they need to be yes or no, 1 or 2 word answers. Either or questions will also be accepted. At the end of the year, we're going to have a drawing. In fact, in a few weeks, we're going to have a drawing where a $25 gift card of your choice will be awarded. And you can enter up to 5 questions to go into the drawing. So good luck, guys and gals. All right. I think it is time for This Week at Bungie. All right. This Week at Bungie, week 2 of Season of the Hunt. What do we got, Hazel?
Well, I guess actually this is season 1 or week 1 of Season of the Hunt, isn't it?
You know, that's a good question. I'm just now thinking. Well, it's week 2 of Beyond Light, but
yeah, week 1.
I mean, we'll say week 2 because the season pass started in week 1 of Beyond Light. So,
fuck, I don't know. Okay, so. All right. So this week at Bungie. So they start off with talking about basically the season, how it dropped. And for that, they talk about basically some of the lore that dropped off in there. Now, I know that I've actually, since we've had Blue Crew and Green Eyed Music Lover on our show, that I've been diving into some lore, and I read like all of these. And I did make a comment on our mega tripod cast thing that Sagira got. Spoiler alert to anybody.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of spoilers tonight, guys. If you guys haven't read this stuff yet, we're going to be shedding a little light on it. So, yeah.
That Sagira got killed. Basically off camera and that kind of thing. We're like just flying in and we found out that she was dead, and I was like, what the fuck is that about?
Did you read? You of course read it. You told me you did, but the way Sagira sacrificed herself to save Osiris.
Why the fuck wasn't that in the game?
I don't. Maybe it was voice lines. Maybe they didn't have the voice actors for it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've read, or that's what I've heard. Is that that she didn't want to come back, or that they couldn't afford her, something along those lines. But
yeah.
I mean, come on.
That lore was so dramatic, man. It had me hooked. I was on the edge of my seat. What's gonna happen next? Oh, Zivur Roth, no.
Yeah, I'm like, this is some good shit. Yeah. It's like, why can't it be in the game? Show me. Show, don't tell. But anyway, so read it. It's good shit. It's kind of one of those things that's like everybody wonders, like, hey, when's a good point to get into lore? Probably right now.
Now would be a good time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not hidden. It's right there. They post it for you.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't have to go digging. You don't have to go to braytech.org to find stuff, which, by the way, is a great site. But it's... God, there's some great stuff, man.
Yeah, there is. All right, and then moving on. On your marks, get set, raid. So as we record this, the raid race will be going on tomorrow, and tomorrow being Monday. Or I'm sorry, fucking hell. The raid race will be tomorrow. That'll be Saturday, and that begins at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And our very own Gator, who said that he's not going to do it and he's not going to, try to, bust his ass to get it to 12:30. Apparently decided to change his mind, and now he's busting his ass to get to 12:30, and he's going to be raiding.
Yeah,
It's all because of that problem.
Yeah, about that. Well, I gotta give a shout out here because some of the guys in our clan came up and said, "Hey, we want to try to do this raid thing. Anybody interested?" And I was like, "Well, damn it, I've been kind of chasing power a little bit just in case someone needed somebody, But I'm looking at the activity raid bot here, and we've got a full team, man. We got myself, Anubis Falls, Zenitram 05, Jealous, Larman Kentucky, and Des Raven is joining us. It's awesome, man.
Ooh, I worry about him though. He could be, he could be the weak link in this.
I'll be the moody one. That's for sure.
He's gonna listen to this. He's gonna listen to this on the following week, and then he's gonna give me a bunch of shit about that.
Oh, Saturday mornings are awesome, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they're fun. But I mean, keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Not really.
No, we'll be lucky to get past the first boss.
Suck it, Hazel from Des Raven.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yes. No, he's a great guy. He really, truly is. All right. So there's that. Just so everyone is aware, again, we mentioned this way back when, but they are going to take, I think it's 3 days to analyze everything and decide who's going to actually be the winner. So just because somebody wins and somebody, says hey, we finished first, if there's been any shenanigans or anything like that, then they are not going to be a winner.
Yeah,
so
keep playing, guys.
Going. Not that it's going to matter because this will be over by then, but
True.
Do it anyway.
True.
But yeah, so all right. So moving on. All right. I'm basically going to skip over all of the raid stuff now because it's all going to be over by the time this hits. So moving on. If you do raid and you do it on day one, you can get a nice snazzy little jacket with a little vest on the inside with some Destiny memorabilia in there, which I'll be honest does look relatively cool. I appreciate the Clovis Bray emblem on there. That's pretty cool.
I was listening to Mylan Games go on about that jacket, and he's like, now, how is this going to be applicable in Australia?
I was just going to say, we don't wear jackets in Florida. Sorry.
Yeah. I think that's the vest.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe. All right. And then after that is securing the entrance. So in an effort for Bungie to kind of minimize cheating on PC, they are asking people for SMS verification. So that way, you can only have basically one user ID per phone. Which, there's always going to be ways around that, I'm aware. But this could limit some portion of it.
It's
this
just
coupled with everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This coupled with, raising the power level with, besides making it pay to play, that's the only thing, that they could do to completely mitigate it for the most part.
Now if they could just do something about account recovs, we'll be good.
Oh, man, get off of it.
I'm so tired of going up against guys that have 1.1 KDs and play like they have a 10 KD.
Hey, I'll be honest with you, though. Since I did a little bit of PvPing on PC, I fucking love it.
Isn't it great being able to see so much at once?
Oh, man. I have been sniping like a god.
It's at a higher level, too, man. It's higher level.
I'm scared. I'm scared, though. I'm scared that somebody's going to report me or something. I'm going to be it's just natural. I promise. I've got 6 things on this computer. I promise.
Yeah.
And, all good, right. So, so there's everything there. And after that, they're doing their game to give, where you can donate and you can get some cool stuff. So feel free to do that.
Oh, yeah. I'm getting those emblems.
Then, or should I say lastly here, what they are, well, I won't say lastly, because I'm going to touch on one other thing, though. But, so, for anybody who is, played week 1 of Beyond Light and got to experience the carnage that all of the, what are they, Shadebinder warlocks were doing. Yeah, space magic bullshit.
Uh-huh.
So pretty much Shadebinders got hit with the Nerf stick a little bit. But
a little bit? A little bit. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Carry on.
But it was definitely worth it. I mean, it should have. You shouldn't be able to use your super and how long did it last? Like 30 minutes?
All right. I want to put this down as record. Mark my words. These big ass nerfs that they just put on warlocks, they're going to adjust them back up again. They did this. They did this with the Nova Warp. They'll do it again on this. Because right now, when I throw my Penumbral Blast, even in PvP, I'll be 20 yards away and it'll just disappear in the ether. Like, what?
20 yards away? Why the fuck are you trying to melee somebody 20 yards away?
No. Penumbral Blast, where I shoot the little ball of ice.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the wise words of Respawn, you would cast that in Gambit and it would smack all the way back to PvP.
Yeah, I know. Yes, it had tracking. And yes, it doesn't have tracking actually. But it did go a long ways before it dismantled. So I understand.
It
but
should.
Dude, okay. They reduced it from 28 to 16. They cut it in half, dude.
It should go up. Okay, I will give you that.
They cut it in half. It should
go up. But here's what I found out, though. So, the Warlock, what is that? Where they fucking "you shall not pass" kind of thing, and then all of a sudden it devastates everything for miles. Kills you across the map.
It's called Winter's Wrath.
Yeah. So you say the "you shall not pass," and then all of a sudden they send this big blast. So what I found out is that even if you're not, or you're frozen but not by the Penumbral Blast or bullshit, whatever it is. Actually, it's Winter's Wrath. So if you're not frozen by that light attack, then you still get destroyed when they slam their staff down.
Yeah, I thought that was stupid.
Oh, I don't think that's stupid at all.
No. I mean, people were using it as an area effect and not having anything to do with the ice, and they fixed that.
Well, no. What I'm saying though is if I'm a Titan and I freeze somebody,
right, and
you slam your staff down, it's going to kill them too.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I loved that. I was just like, this is brilliant. And that's one thing I will say though, is that a lot of these nerfs though, they are more PvP related instead of PvE related.
Yeah, I wish they would separate it. Let us have our fun.
Well, that's what they're doing, kind of thing here. So, I mean, and I'm okay with that. So the short Cliff Notes version of some of the nerfs that happened here is that they reduced the stasis breakout damage, and now this is global. So it doesn't matter, not just Shadebinder, but for everybody, from 110 damage down to 90. Which is still a lot, but at least you may survive. But basically, it won't kill you. But everything else will kill you while you're still frozen.
Better off just let it dethaw. Don't try to break free in a crucible. Don't do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Then, like Gator mentioned, Penumbral Blast. They reduced the range. They slowed it down some. They did buff not really the damage, but the cost of it. So they did raise that. So they lowered that, which is good.
Yeah.
I guess, because, warlocks, cheat codes. Then they did the Cold Snap Seeker speed was reduced by 23%. So you can actually kind of get away from it. I
played with that today in PvE, and it's not too bad in PvE. It's still decent.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the Dusk Fall. What is it?
Dusk. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. All these grenades and aspects are so new to me right now.
I don't even have any,
Dustfield?
any fragments.
Dustfield grenade? Is that what they call it?
Duskfield? Yeah, sure, that one. The one with dusk in it.
Yeah.
I love that thing. I was doing an elimination match, and I threw it down at my feet, as it was like me versus, it was a 1v3, and it was me. So I'm like, okay, well, this is going to be over quick. So I threw down that, froze all three of them, and then ran back around with a shotgun, killed one guy, he shattered and blew up the other two.
Did you say this is in comp?
Well, elimination.
Oh,
so
yeah.
not comp, but
Yeah, that's comp, dude. Elimination's comp.
it is.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, wait a
No,
minute.
comp
No,
is
it's
survival.
Separate playlist. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
Okay. See.
Elimination is basically your practice for comp.
It's practice for trials because that's the same thing in trials, isn't it? Elimination.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
valor.
Right.
But I will say this, though. I mean, PvP is kind of like the Wild West right now. Like, I mean, everybody's trying stuff out. You know, there's sniping. They've got stasis everywhere. You've got golden guns. I mean, it's just everybody's trying everything. And it's just fun right now to just jump in and just see what the hell's going on.
Can I just say
I will
something, Eric?
say that if you're a hunter, you should be paying attention to Patty Cakes right now.
Yes.
He's got some good videos coming out right now.
Mm-hmm. Can I just say this? I was playing with Larman, Kentucky, and Warcry on PS4 last night. I know I was slumming it. They love it when I say that. I've never had so much fun playing Crucible. I know everyone's been complaining about the freeze grenades and all the freezing stuff, but it felt like a fun house, man. I mean, people got 69 kills in a game. I mean, it was just insane shit, man. I mean, I did pretty good. I mean, I just got the old Telesto out. So do you want to come at me with a grenade or whatever you got? Just bring it. I'll lay it down a nice carpet for you to run across. But I had so much fun last night playing. I didn't think I would. And shout out to those guys. I had a great time.
That's awesome, man. So, so with all that being said, I mean, it's really, I mean, the nerfs that they did, I mean, it basically just kind of brought it in line. Now, I do see them rolling back some of them, but not to the level that they were at before.
I think the thing I really like that they changed for Crucible here is the freeze duration.
Yes.
I noticed last night when I'd freeze someone, they would unthaw really quickly. And I was like, oh
exactly.
Shit, Telesto.
Yeah. So basically for anybody who's wondering about it, they lowered it from 4.75 seconds.
That's an eternity, dude.
That is to 1.35 seconds.
When you not even 2 seconds, man. You better make sure you kill them when you freeze them.
Yeah, because they're going to get out of there. I mean, they will unthaw, and it's basically like if you get frozen, don't try to break out of it, but just let it go. It's 1.35 seconds. Just hold your breath for that long, and then get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So.
One thing I have noticed about this freezing grenade stuff, if you're playing PvP and you can get an enemy frozen and you're used to using hand cannons, throw on the Ace of Spades. You have increased headshot damage with a 2-tap if you can get them frozen, and maybe even one head in a body.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that it does make them easier to kill.
I picked up, I did, okay. All right, I'm the corporate shill here. My name is Gator. I paid for the Not Forgotten because I didn't want to go through all that garbage to get it. And I know Lucky 10 OP out there, he's saying this is a bad idea. But I brought that out last night in Crucible on console, and I wasn't impressed, dude. I think on PC, hand cannons are definitely meta. I don't know if they are on console, man. I mean, I can have much more better success with a pulse rifle. The new pulse rifles are good. I mean, I like what I like about the Ace of Spades, incredible range, and you get radar all the time,
especially whenever it's masterworked.
Oh yeah, I've got it masterworked. Yeah,
that's great.
I didn't try it. I had it in my inventory, and I should have put it on last night, but I was so disappointed with the Not Forgotten. It didn't. I just haven't used it enough, but it wasn't giving me the numbers I thought it would. But anyway, just wanted to throw that in there.
All right. Then one thing here is, what do you guys think of that? Oh, those nerfs. What do you guys think?
Sweaty?
I think they fair for the most part. I mean, I know if you're a warlock, you are gonna tell me to, go away. But I mean, I haven't been a warlock main since Forsaken, and going up against that, I'm thinking of the new light players right now that are just getting involved in Beyond Light. I mean, nobody wants to go against Trials, Absolute Sweat, PvP, constantly spamming that particular super at the extent that it was at. Yeah. And I mean, if you can't say that it wasn't overpowered, then, there's something wrong with that. I think it was definitely fair. Now, I'm also thinking that they're probably going to buff some things back up at some point. But with the point that we're at, with the information that we currently have available to us, I think it was fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not completely sold on this new stasis. I still like my Voidwalker. I can throw a Nova Bomb and just walk away. I don't have to worry about hovering in the air and making sure my little ice bolts hit somebody before I get frozen. And I think they'll bring it up. I think what they should have done here is left because the Penumbral Blast, where we shoot it's the melee attack for the Warlock, where we shoot the little ice ball. They shouldn't have nerfed the distance, because you know why? Because it doesn't track. People can easily
track.
No,
it does track.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it does.
If it does, it's very slight, because I've missed several times using it. People would dodge out of the way and not get frozen.
Well, it's not aggressive. It's not aggressive tracking, but it will go ahead and it will veer off towards them.
I'll have to play with it some more.
It's like a Jotun track.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a slide
that's
arc.
Basically it.
Slide arc, okay. Because I whiffed a couple times last night. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What the hell? And it is good for those shotgunners. I had a guy last night who just kept running right at me with a shotgun. I'm like, dude, no.
Guess what I did?
What?
I froze, a Hammer Titan. I froze him. I hit him with the 2 shurikens, and I was just like, oh my God.
Oh, man. Last night, I had a
apologized.
Hammer Titan headshot snipe.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
You know what I'm waiting to see?
Down.
I'm waiting to see the Superman Titan, the bullet train, whatever it's called. I love it. It's my favorite super. Where you fly in the air as Superman and pound on the ground. I've seen people get frozen in midair, drop like a log. That's hilarious to see.
Yep. Fallout has a video of everybody doing their supers.
It's so funny.
Oh, yeah. I did. I messaged the guy and I was like, hey, I'm sorry. Because that was just, it broke my heart as a Titan main to freeze another Titan like that.
It was Crucible, so you probably got something back like, yeah, man, it's okay.
Yeah, it was exactly it. That was exactly what he said.
Really?
Yeah, GG's.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, well played, kind sir. Well played.
All right.
And then he left my mom out of the conversation completely.
I was going to say, yeah, okay. All right, cool.
It's $5 due. I lost the bet.
All right. So, moving on there. Let's talk about loot. Now, I do have a little bit of a rant, or like a 4-second rant, I guess. So, starting November 24th with a hotfix, is Bungie will basically remove all legendary weapons that hit their infusion cap at the end of the season. I don't know how I feel about that. That sort of, I don't know. That sort of makes me go, ew.
Well, I mean, come on, man. For people who haven't been hardcore playing like we have, they'll get this rifle and go, oh, man, this is awesome. Oh, wait a minute. I can only use it till the end of the season? That's kind of dumb. I agree.
Is Lord Shadow included in that?
Don't you fucking start with that. I'm so glad that Varix gave me that piece of shit. Yeah, hey, okay. Yeah, thank you for giving me a Forsaken weapon that, is,
No, you talking about the sniper rifle?
Yes.
It's good till 1360, I think.
I know, but still.
I used it the other night. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah. That's what I was sniping.
It's not a revoker, but oh well.
Yeah. But
I'm really looking adored.
I am close to getting that. I think I just need something. I forget what.
What was that?
Adored.
Oh, I was just saying that I really like using Adored right now. I already got like over 130 Crucible kills on it.
I've heard good things. I heard it's just as good as its brethren.
And a lot of that, like, it has some getting used to because of the zoom. If you're used to using Beloved and Revoker, there is that adjustment. But whenever you get using it, it's really not too much different because of the adjustments they made in debuffing the 30 zoom scopes and buffing up the 55s because that's the zoom that it is. It's really not too hard to get used to. It's pretty good.
I was using the higher zoom scope on that long shot. And I was doing okay with it. It was still fairly sticky. But I tried to use the Revoker, man. I was missing left and right. They definitely nerfed the shit out of that gun.
Yeah, I definitely have to spec into the mods a little bit just for the aim assist. But, I mean, once you have that, you're golden.
Yep.
All right. So, moving on from that. Okay. So, add all of the 7th Seraph weapons from Season 10. Add all of the Season 11 seasonal and planetary reprisal weapons. And then weight the drop chances so the newer an item is, the more likely it is to drop.
Okay.
Why the fuck weren't these already added in?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's what you're not asking. Here's what you're not asking. How quickly have you ever seen Bungie make changes so quickly? I think it's a new engine, man.
That's something I'm gonna new engine. That's something that I'm gonna ask here in a second.
Okay,
but why aren't they already in the game? Why did it take people bitching on Reddit for them to go, hey, you know what? Loot is shitty. I've gotten the same gun 7 times.
All right,
why?
you know what my theory is here? Here's the way people need to think about Beyond Light. Think of Beyond Light as Destiny 3. Think they trashed all of our past weapons, and you are slowly building up your guns and weapons, and they're going to add more over the season, man. You know they're going to add more guns and weapons, and
yeah, in 4 days.
Well, yeah. Well, no, not that. I'm talking about if this was Destiny 3 and we had to all start from scratch, we'd be using blues and green weapons and even some white weapons, to get started because we had to start over. Just think of it. If you think of it that way, really, we're not in a bad spot. I mean, I like all the feel of the new weapons, and my God, the sound of the sound department, man, they need to get a raise, especially during all this crisis we've been in around the world with the pandemic stuff. But God, the sound that the Warlock Super makes when you do it, I can't picture where they got that noise from. It's like a ba-bow or something like that. It's so cool. It's like someone's breathing down a tube or something. Every time I do it, I'm like, yeah. So I mean, I'm getting off on tangents here, but I think of it as Destiny 3 where we had to start from scratch because that's basically what they're doing. Not now they're adding all these weapons back in. Now they're not. They're kind of going, okay.
Okay. I hear that. I understand that. But here's my main issue with that philosophy. Okay, So it's D3, quote unquote. Okay, but you know what though? If this is D3, Bungie needs to learn from D1 and D2.
Dude, at the end of Rise of Iron, I thought Destiny 2 would be Destiny 1 plus. I never knew they would go backwards.
And they went backwards with D2.
It was horrible.
Now Beyond Light D3 comes out, and it feels to me like they're going backwards again.
Maybe
just a little bit, but I want to see them learn stuff. I want to see them put into play what everybody's been bitching about for, like 5 years, 6 years?
All I can figure is they have limited resources and limited personnel, and things don't run as efficiently. I know, I'm the corporate shill. My name's Gator. I think they had to decide what they were going to focus their attention on to get started. And I think, yes, I know, Hazel, they need to have their art department work on more guns. I understand. I get it. I understand.
So we got to think about how far back was the agenda where they were actually planning out the loot. I mean, this very well could have been maybe well over a year ago, and approaching up to present date. They were probably just more focused on, is everything looking good? Is everything in its place? Everything working properly? What technical issues are we having? We have the live event coming the day before. Mm-hmm. That's just my train of thought, but and then they probably figured, okay, well, we've been in this 2 weeks now. We are now capable of fixing this within 2 weeks of drop, so let's do that.
Yeah, and it's everything is based on the physics host now, so they had to make sure everything cooperates with that new system that they have in place. So, God, look at all the bugs they have right now. I mean, there's so many exploits right now. I'd be amazed if the raid is done on a fair basis by some of these players, but. There's a lot of exploits right now. There's a lot of them. A lot more than I'm used to seeing.
And that's the thing, though, that's my next point here is, I've seen 3 or 4 articles now about calling into question, the QA department for Bungie now. There were just Bungie keeps taking stuff out. Hey, this is broken. We pulled this off. Hey, this is broken. We pulled this off. Now, while they're doing that, it's kind of cool that they can do it so instantly, but it just, it's to me, it's stuff that shouldn't, it's not like exploits. It's not like something like, oh, well, hey, somebody found out that this lost sector is giving out high power drops for everything.
I don't know what you're talking about. Never heard about that.
Lies. Yeah. And that's the thing, though, is that, YouTubers right now are they're posting videos and they're like, hey, use this, right now. And then all of a sudden, by the end of the day, Bungie's already taking it offline. They're no,
That's a testament to that new way of I'm not going to say scripting. That's just a new way that they can interface with the game now and make changes faster. That's more efficient now how they can make changes. I think that's the reason why they went through this growing process and the pains of doing it.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it, though, because I liked having those exploits where they were in there for maybe 3 days or something like that, where you could go good. All right. I can get a little bit of an advantage
coming out of these quote unquote air quotes exploits. Next week we have Nightfall of the Ordeal double rewards. So they're not completely close to that idea.
I fell out of my chair when I saw that. I couldn't believe they were coming back so quickly with that.
Yeah, that surprised me too. I was just wow, really? Okay.
So I got to give Bungie some props for that. I tip my hat in that aspect that, they definitely are working much faster. I didn't get the opportunity to try that because I was at work, and then whenever I get home, it was already patched in. But at the same time, it's that also is a testament to maybe PvP things that may be broken, or, maybe other areas that could be negatively impacting the player base. They're able to fix that on the fly like that. So I think we got to balance our negatives and positives when it comes to that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I just, that was just one of the things that I wanted to touch on, was how quickly Bungie is addressing these things, where they're just oh, hey, for real. With the Warlock Super coming out and that kind of thing, did you guys see the Glad video where he basically just insta melted what was her name, not Shuro Chi, but Gator's oh no, I don't know at all what you're talking about.
I was actually clearing my throat. I got a little throat issue.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Right. But no, Glad and his crew, they completely insta melted a raid boss.
Yeah.
And same thing with Riven. They just completely just destroyed Riven.
Oh yeah, the bunch of warlocks at the Riven Cheese area.
Yeah, exactly. I've seen that. And I'm just I for real thought they were going to push off the launch of the raid for this. because of those kind of things.
We've always had glitches and hell, I used to solo Nightfalls all the time because they had cheese areas. I mean, that's just part of Destiny, man. But yeah,
It is, but now Bungie can go in and fix those things right away.
Yeah,
they can
true.
pull that shit offline and go like, nope, you're going to play the game we want you to play, not the way that you want to play.
Well, I'm just happy they gave my Witherhorn back to me. Now I can melt stuff again with it.
What was the other new exotic that got nerfed before Beyond Light again? Everybody loved it. I forget what it's called. It was a fusion rifle in your energy slot.
New exotic?
Well, new is in last season, I guess. The dunking balls of fusion rifle. I think it was
Ruinous.
Ruinous Effigy. That's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they ruined the Ruinous Effigy.
Oh yeah.
I tried it out the other day. I was like, geez, I'm almost out of energy, and these little piddly ads aren't even dead yet. What the hell? So I had to put it away, man. They nerfed it too far.
Yeah. Well, so Gator, I'll give you one piece of advice for the raid. You might want to use bring back Merciless.
Oh man, I had Telesto ranked up.
No shit, right? But you might want to use Merciless because they have I think they upped it to 35 as the ammo count.
Yeah.
And you figured that with the bosses and things along those lines.
It's going to be a DPS monster. That's a good idea.
It is, yeah. Exactly.
I'll pull it out. I'll pull it out of collections.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's everything in the TWAB.
Hey gang, just a quick reminder, we now have a Destiny 2 clan, and Hazel and I invite you to be a part of it.
If you're looking to find a clan, now would be a great time to jump in and get to know some of these people that you've heard on the show. And we're not hardcore, so you don't have to worry about, us slave driving you to do raids and shit like that. Enjoying your time is basically all that we ask.
So, if you're looking for a clan out there, we have a permanent link in our Discord under our channel GDC Destiny 2 Clan, where you can find a link. Otherwise, look for Guardian Downcast or DOWN is our call sign.
We do ask that you join our Discord first, so that way we can communicate clan nights and things along those lines. And aside from that, you can lurk all you like.
Thanks very much, gang. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this last week with the Tripod podcast, as everyone likes to call it now. Me and Hazel just wanted to, get a little more of a deep dive. I mean, this is week 2 of the new Beyond Light now, and want to see if anything has sparked our interest or anything that's raised our antenna a little bit. And I was just going to ask you guys, what do you think of the overall feel? Is this a success? Is it a failure? Is it kind of in between? Where do you guys stand on this Beyond Light? I mean, I know it was hyped to hell, but every DLC is. I mean, if you were to rank this against Shadowkeep, maybe better, worse, the same. What do you think?
Is Sweaty?
All right.
This is the joy of being one of the hosts. I can go, and to you, sir.
No, we're just honoring our guest. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah, no, it's good. It's good. Okay, so Beyond Light, first impression, floored. I have fallen in love with the game all over again. And while I was waiting for Beyond Light to drop, I kind of dabbled into this, but I was playing D1 quite a bit. I was jumping into the PvP aspects there, starting to realize what it's like when you try to dodge in D1 and, oh, wait, there's no dodge. So I'm learning the pains of trying to find cover, hide behind cover, and, just kind of stick to the bare bones, I'll say dumbed down version of D2, I guess. But it's not really dumbed down. It's just the original. But anyways, so just seeing how, I haven't played through the entire New Light, I guess, campaign yet, but Oh my goodness, such a relation to D1, and I can actually legitimately understand that for myself now, since going back to D1 and playing through that. So I could definitely see how veteran players were super excited about that. And you know what? I'm so happy for those people that they, I can understand now as well, where new players aren't going to exactly understand what sort of a love letter that was to D1. So I understand that perspective now. Now, getting out of the D1 relation with the Cosmodrome and things like that and diving right into Europa, which I hear was an idea in D1 and now being dropped into Beyond Light. Oh my goodness. The weather system, sitting on your Sparrow and getting blown around like that, like the footprints and being able to slide and basically like have a little butt trail in the snow behind you. Like just small little details like that. I really enjoy that about a game. And I think Beyond Light has just hit home with that. The new enemies, like the Briggs, for example, I think they're a lot of fun. Just chipping away at them. And then once their front chest plate kind of pops off, you can finally hit that crit spot and just kind of melt them away. But it's not easy to get there. Like it's just, it's a learning curve. And there's some new lost sectors to explore. I still have yet to explore the legendary lost sector parts. I'm not quite at that light level yet, but I am approaching there and I'm working on it. And I very much look forward to it. And there's a whole bunch of new stuff to explore. I mean, yes, we're missing Io. We are missing Mars. We're missing Titan, a beautiful spot, by the way. We're missing some of the older places that we used to go to, but I think it has been fairly compensated with a lot of the new content, and it's not even all rolled out yet. Like this is just Europa and then the season hand in hand. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more, really. I mean, this is great. It's all kinds of new stuff. I mean, I understand where people are coming from with the loot. It would be nice if we had a little bit more loot to chase, whenever you're dropping into Europa and the first thing you get's a long shadow, something that you shot with a million times already. I understand that 100%. But at the same time, I also dabbled into when I played Warlock and Forsaken, I had a love for bows. I still have a love for bows. And there is a build that you can have. There's a certain role, with the Biting Winds bow where
Sympathetic
you can
Arsenal
with it.
Yeah.
I think it's snapshots and maybe it's Rampage. Rampage, is that the one that goes to ×5 with melee damage?
No, that's
damage?
Swashbuckler.
Yeah.
Swashbuckler. Thank you. Yeah. So if you get that roll, you can one tap people, and to me that's exciting. Finding the new builds with this type of stuff, it's great. I love it.
Yeah. What do you think, Hazel? What's your overall feel?
Well, like I said in the tripod, is that it made me playing Beyond Light. I mean, I'm mostly through, I want to say probably the Beyond Light campaign stuff. So playing it made me want to see Bungie come out with a game that was just a story game. Because they actually fucking killed it with the story. I mean, there was lore, there was everything there. I mean, there was story in the game that you actually get to see. You get exposition from the stranger. I mean, you get like a confrontation between Anna and the stranger. It's just good stuff. And I was like, man, and the story missions were awesome and extremely well done too. And I'm just like, I want Bungie to come out with a new game, nothing against Destiny, but I want them to put it all into story. And I don't want an evolving world. I don't want anything like that. I just want a game that I can sit, play for 6-8 hours and be done with it and enjoy my time. And I think Bungie could kill at that again. But I mean, all that being said, everything that you said, Spooky, Spookz, is just dead on. I mean, everything that you said was just. I mean, I'm loving the Briggs. I'm loving everything.
Forgot to mention the lore books. I like what they did with that.
Yeah. I'm going to mention it.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing that struck me when I first loaded in, was Did you guys feel like completely overwhelmed by the number of ads they were throwing at us?
It was more, that's for sure. It wasn't like 5 ads and then just keep moving. It's like more ads kept coming and coming.
Right. I mean, and it's just like, there's one area in that Reese area where you go up the lift and like, I don't know how many ads they can fit in there, but I mean, there was at least like nine vandals in there. And I'm just like, shit. I'm like, all right, well, these guys are, not screwing around, I guess. But I just couldn't believe that. And then not to mention the shanks that are everywhere. But but yeah. So that was the one thing that I really, really noticed was just the overwhelming number of ads. And I'm just like, wow. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to be here for a while killing all this shit. So, Gator?
Well, the way I gauge this Beyond Light is I compare it to Shadowkeep, because I know Shadowkeep was kind of a placeholder. It was kind of like a House of Wolves kind of expansion. Remember, if you go back to House of Wolves, sorry, SweatySpookz, you won't remember this, but it was kind of where Trials was first started. But the stories they had, everything was kind of like a filler. And the fact that I cannot wait to play the story again with my Hunter and my Titan, and I've been slowly working on it. I've fully done the full campaign with my of course my Warlock. Says a lot, because in Shadowkeep I never did the story after that first time with my Warlock. I never went back to play the story, and not that the story was bad or anything. It's just everything was pretty abrupt. I mean, the story was a little shorter this time. I mean, compare it to like Forsaken, because Forsaken was like the big DLC, right? It's what changed Destiny 2. It was probably the original pivot point for Bungie. But they had a lot of help back then. They had VV, they had was it Raven? They had a lot of other studios that were helping them put this together when they were still with the giant publishers. And now that they're on their own, I think with what they have, I think they did an excellent job. Once you finish the campaign, you're like, oh, everyone was like, oh, the campaign's too short. No. What happens is like I said last week, I think Bungie wanted to get the main story out of the way with the antagonist, the boss. And then the game just starts opening up. And I don't think we've even seen it all yet. I think I've heard that after the raid is complete, that Europa is going to open up even more and change, and maybe other planets that open up. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to seeing where it's going to go, and I've still yet to complete all the extra side missions that happened after you complete the campaign. I'm still working on my Dustfield grenade. I still got to go use stasis and kill stuff in Gambit and stuff. So, and there are so many more little side quests and things you can do other than just going around, and I'm behind because I've been grinding for gear score,
bounties.
And yeah, lots of bounties. And please don't take my bounties away.
Take them away. I'm giving them away.
But the fact that I'm looking forward to doing this all over again with 2 other characters, that's a testament to how great the storyline is. And just please put a damn fast spawn in the top of, for God's sake, yes, please agreed. I'm tired. Shit. I know they want us to explore everything and they want us to take in the sights as we get someplace, but that, and like I mentioned last week, the fact that it's got to be a bug where you don't know where you are on the map. If you pull the map up north of the center areas of the map, anything north of the, anything
it's
north,
all smushed together.
It's like, where do I go next? There's no, there's a waypoint. I love that you can waypoint stuff now, but it doesn't matter if you don't know where you're at. So, overall feel, I mean, that's what we're basing this on, right? It's not Forsaken. I don't think anything will ever be Forsaken again, because that was such a game changer when they brought out triumph scores and they just totally revamped the whole game. I think it's going to be difficult to follow up Forsaken, but I'm really happy with what they've done so far, and I look forward to see what they do next. Speaking of which, this week was our first actually opening season event, and that was the Wrathborn hunts. What do you guys think of these? Let's just start with SweatySpookz. Have you done these yet?
They're really fun, actually. I was kind of wondering excuse me, I was wondering how they were going to follow up something like Menagerie, where you're loot chasing and kind of loot fashioning as well. And they have done a pretty good job of giving you some options in that sense. I mean, you could be going for certain stats on armor that you need. Maybe you want to do a resilience build. Maybe you want to do a recovery build. Maybe you want to do a mobility build. You know, they give you those options to actually pursue the armor that you're looking for. And when it comes to weapons, I'm not sure if you guys have tried any of that yet, but they also give you the option to pursue certain perks. There's 2 different slots that you can, I forget what everything's called because I don't have anything.
I think they're called trophies, I think. Trophies?
Yeah. So let's say trophy number 1 that you insert, it'll exclude 2 specific perks that are excluded. And that'll leave a remainder of 4 that are a possible roll. And then for your second trophy, you can kind of do the same thing. So, you know, there's 4 perks that you can exclude that you don't want to deal with, and then opens it up for, you know, maybe a better RNG possibility of something that you want.
Yeah. Yeah. It reminded me of Menagerie too. It wasn't direct, like with the Menagerie, you can actually target a weapon. I mean, you can do that here too. My bad. You can still target an exact weapon, but they are random rolls. So
it's only early. So, I mean,
it is. It is
more up as you go. So.
And that goes for Varix, by the way. Varix has his unlock tree that he started as well, kind of similar to the Umbral. What is it, the Caster, whatever it was last season. But I noticed that the Caster
and then the Seraph Towers.
Yeah, it's all the same
everything
basis.
Else. Yeah, exactly.
I like that system. I don't mind it, and I like how they've time gated stuff this time around.
Yeah, I was kind of let down by that, though. When I saw that from Varix, it was like my heart got ripped out. I'm like, oh no, it's this again.
Yeah, but it's a good system. And as you play more, you start unlocking better perks. I don't know. You know what? We'll check back in a few weeks and see how we feel on that. But what do you think about the Wrathborn hunts, Hunter? Hazel, I'm out of it tonight.
Well, I am playing Hunter now.
Well, that's what I meant. Hunter. I'm referring to you, the Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah. I will say this, though. Playing the Hunter feels like the most complete class with the stasis ability. I mean, everything just sort of seems to work together. Like the Shatter is fucking amazing. Gator, I don't know if you've used your Hunter yet, and I know you don't have the aspect for it yet, but
no, I've got I use the shurikens and the what is it, like a tornado?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. I like it.
It is.
The only problem is
cool
I press the button to throw the shurikens and they both throw. I'm like, wait a minute, I have 2 of them. I didn't want to throw 2 of them at the same time.
Well, if you throw 2 of them, they'll actually freeze whoever they hit.
Yeah, but
you definitely want to throw 2 of them at the same time.
Oh,
the first one will slow,
okay.
So that way, you know, when you throw your first one and it connects, it's just going to slow your enemy, which kind of makes it easier to throw that second and actually freeze them on spot.
Okay.
But if you can hit both of them, then yeah, they're frozen.
But when I noticed when I did the super and I actually threw them, that they both released at the same time. I'm like, wait a minute. But maybe they work together. I don't know. I don't know if about it. You're talking to the wrong guy here. Hunter's my last character I build. I like Titans more than I do Hunters.
But yeah, I mean, to me though, the Hunter is like the most complete stasis.
Right
class.
Now it is. Yeah.
And I mean, I'm having a blast with the Hunter. I think I may run Hunter all season this season just because I'm having so much fun. Yeah, I'm having so much fun. I mean, I'm working on a build with melee so I can just have infinite shurikens, and that's basically going to be what I'm doing. But in regard to the Wrathborn hunts, I really like them. I mean, I appreciate, the trophies and the loot, but the thing that I really like about it is how you stick the lure in the ground and then you see the big servitor come up and then you do a bunch of damage to it. And then you see like the little traces on the ground that you have to follow. And I don't know why, I just really enjoyed that. I'm just like, okay, this is really cool. I get to actually they're doing stuff with this. And I appreciated that.
Yeah, and remember when you the first part of that, when you put the lure in the ground on the initial thing, you get them down to like 10% health, and he didn't run. He starts running. He realizes he's not going to win, but he leaves a little marker behind. Keep in mind, you only have so many seconds to grab that marker. It will evaporate if you don't pick it up right away. Even if you don't, if you want to run over here and grab a few chests or something, grab the marker first and create the trail that you follow follow him wherever he's going. That way you have time. You can go pick up some stuff from the chest or some resources or whatever. That's just the person I am. I always grab stuff along the way. I'm always multitasking. But I tell you, you know what I love about this season opener is the story. They have so much character development in this first part. They talk about the crow. They talk about in the lore tab. They talk about where he sits at the bar at the shore and how you have to go into depth on it. I don't want to get into too much lore here, but it was fascinating reading about that. How nobody likes him, and that how this ghost, if he didn't revive him, he even says it in the thesis. I wouldn't even be here, and the fact that Spider took him in and has kind of taken advantage of him. He's kind of he's like an assassin. He's like his own personal assassin, if I guess you could say. And the fact that, well, spoiler here, but Spider says in the dialogue that he put a bomb device in the ghost. So if he goes too far, boom. You know what I think that's going to happen? I think we're going to turn on the Spider. I think we're going to put a gun to his head and say, you need to get that device out of his ghost and let him go. I think we're going to take the crow's side. I know that sounds weird, me saying that. I think we're going to take the crow's side, because when I heard that story, I had a little lump in my throat. I was like, dude, what are you doing to this guy? He doesn't even know who he is. But I just know that the crow, Aldrin, whatever, crow, I guess, I think he just has greatness in his person, and I think he's going to rise above it. I just kind of see that happening in his character development throughout this season. I don't know. We'll see, I guess, but I don't know. That was the thing I love the most. I mean, I'm used to the lures and stuff, and that system we've done before, and I've been doing it. I've been slowly ranking up stuff, and I've been pretty happy with it so far. But the lore part really got me, man. They have like a little story that opens up the new season, the first of the week, and definitely go through that story. Take your time and listen to everything that's being said, because it's really heartfelt. To me, it was anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of the things that got me was, I just want to see where it goes next, because that he has to interact with Ikora and he has to interact with Zavala. He just has to. Yeah. And that's what I want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I just have a feeling we're going to help him out later. I think we're going to feel bad for him, and knowing that he's a guardian like us now. Even for all the misdeeds that he's done in the past, I think we're going to... I don't know. I may be talking out of my ass here. I don't know. We'll see. But I just have a feeling something's up there, man. At first when he said, if he goes too far, boom, I kind of went, ha, 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 you sly devil, And then I started thinking about it. I was like, man, that's just wrong. That's just...
Spider, the Tangled Shore Godfather.
He's like this. He's like, I just watched Star Trek Discovery, the latest season. They had these little...
I've been watching that too.
And they have this little pin in the back of people's necks that enslave them, and they take them from wherever they can. And if they run past this grid, it blows their head off. I mean, that kind of reminds me of that. And I was just like, no one should ever be enslaved like that. So I have a feeling we're going to be doing something. I have a feeling we're going to be... if not, I'm going to do my damnedest to do something. I don't know.
Words to live by.
Oh, I'll flip him off behind his back or something. I don't know. Anyway, anything else you guys want to mention before we move on? Anything else about the season? The Wrathborn hunts? I was curious how you guys are working on raising your power level. What methods did you guys use?
Well, where are we? Let's start with that.
Okay, let's sound off. Let's start with SweatySpookz. What's your raw power and what's your artifact power?
All right, give me 2 seconds here, because I've switched all my stuff up thanks to Patty Cakes. I was trying a Ace of Spades and Dragon Shadow build.
Okay, all right.
Oh, man. I love that guy. But let me slap everything back on that I've been using, and
Hazel,
will let you know.
We'll go to Hazel then while you're doing that. Hazel, let's hear it. What do you got?
All right, I am. Let me see here. I am 12. I think I'm like probably like 12, 17 total, like for raw.
Okay.
And then my artifact is at +8, so I'm running at like 220 or 1226 on my Titan, and I'm 1225 on my Hunter with my artifact. And I'm basically like, I'm just moving over my weapons. That's basically it.
Yeah.
I'm just moving those over, and then just leveling up my Hunter from there, and then spending this week on my Hunter, and then next week I'll probably move my stuff over to my Warlock. Unfortunately, although I'm tempted to delete my Warlock and then just create another Hunter. Actually, at this point,
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but yeah.
Let's see. I am, of course, I'm trying to go for the raid event tomorrow. I'm at 1226 raw score, and I'm at 1240 with my artifact, but that won't matter tomorrow because they don't account for artifact power. But I wanted to mention before we ask you, Sweaty, what do you guys think of these lost sectors? I forgot to mention that. These lost sectors that are like, what, 1250 and 1280 power, but that's how we're getting our new exotics, is through these lost sectors that are what, heroic or whatever?
Legendary lost sectors.
Legendary, that's it. What do you guys think of this? Do you think this is a good move?
I think it's a great move. I haven't actually tried the legendary part yet myself, just because like I got all my stuff up. So like without my artifact, I'm 1224.
Okay.
And with artifact 1232.
Okay.
So I'm definitely not at the level I need to be in order to start kind of farming those things. But yeah, I like the new lost sectors. I've gone through them a number of times. I think they're a good place to go and just kind of rank up your kills that you need for whatever, really.
Right.
Yeah, it's good. And I'll get into my build here after that.
Well, I haven't done the legendaries yet. I've heard people trying and just getting one and two punched, and they were just, and you only get 3 revives, and they kick you to orbit. Sorry, try again. And what I heard today is you're not guaranteed that exotic. I've heard people run about 5 times on average is what you have to do it to get the exotic to drop. I'm like, damn, man, I like the direct line and the direct reward for doing something. But don't give me a chance. Just let it drop. One and done. I'll go back and play it later because there will be other rewards in there too. But I don't know. I was annoyed by that when I heard that because it's already a very difficult thing to do. And you have to do it.
I wasn't annoyed.
And you have to do it solo, by the way. No help.
It's just like doing a raid, man. You're not guaranteed the raid exotic.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I was annoyed by that. I mean, that's
if they gave it to you, then you wouldn't have a reason to do it.
That's high level stuff. I mean, it's like I don't know. I have mixed opinions on this. The fact that you have to do it solo. I mean, I love doing stuff solo. Don't get me wrong, but that you only get 3 revives seems extreme. It seems like a little bit of artificial difficulty, and I don't like that. Give me all the time. And there's a timer, by the way. Give me all the time I need to maneuver my way through it. That's part of the adventure, is working your way around the enemies, right? All right, I'm going to clear this room first, and then I need to go over here because I got to hit this servitor here because this one's really... You know what I'm saying? The fact I don't like this timer bullshit. Get the timers out of here. Okay, give me 3 revives, but don't give me a damn timer. Come on, man. Anyway, I'm sorry. SweatySpookz, what's your build, man? Shit.
All right. So, the build that I've been using, okay, so for kinetic slot, I've been using Crimson. I finally got this masterworked in the previous season, thinking that it was going to be good for this season. I've been having a lot of fun with it, if I'm being honest, and just more or less once I get a kill, it'll kind of start healing me right away, and I've been speccing into the recovery stat. All my stats are changed because I've been specced into the other one, but Crimson for kinetic. In my energy slot, I've been using Adored. And then for my heavy, I've been using Sub-Zero Salvo. That's actually been coming pretty handy, if I got to say. I mean, rocket launchers have been for the past little while. I mean, if outside of Warcliff, but
Right.
Sub-Zero, I mean, it's a precision frame, so automatically you get tracking. Mine rolled with quick draw and snapshot sights, which is good for PvP.
Right.
Either I can just snap it up and shoot, or I can hold it for a second and then shoot to get the tracking. It's good. Then for my armor exotic, I've been using Wormhusk Crown, again, for the small health and shield bump whenever I dodge. I was spec'd at 100 mobility, so that way I get dodge every 11 seconds now instead of 9. And I was at a 60 recovery. And all of my stuff was masterworked. I mean, I got Grips of the Exile, which is your trials grips. I had a simulator vest that was good for this season, I think. Simulator boots that were masterworked, and a Cloak of the Exile also being a trials cloak. So for the most part, I look like a trial sweat, but I mean, that's just 2 parts. But
all right.
It was good.
Here's my build. You ready? I'm 1225 light. That's my build. I've been doing whatever I can just to get up there in light. I don't know. I'm using I really like the new pulse rifle, the Hailing Confusion.
Okay, yeah, I like that one too.
Even in Crucible, I've been having really good luck with it. It's a very accurate pulse rifle if you put a counterbalance mod on it. But I do have also my No Time to Explain, and I did masterwork it. So I have that to alternate to if I want, but I don't really like giving it my exotic slot in my primary, so of course it's Telesto. But I do have a backup. I do have a backup build. If I don't go Telesto, then I still like the Gnawing Hunger, especially with Demolitionist and see the one I have as Demolitionist and Zen Moment still works very well. So I have several of these really good rolls, but I have that as my backup for Void. And then of course I do like the Salvo as well. I like the tracking rockets, but right now I've still got my Fallen Guillotine is what I've ranked up so far because I have a feeling we're going to need to use that. But my backup is the Salvo.
Huh. I'm looking up my build here. I'm just like, I was like, okay.
What ghost did you guys masterwork?
Oh, how many you mean?
Well, I guess what's your main?
All right, I have a ghost. I have my main rank up ghost for my season pass, which by the way, my season pass bar is at 91 right now. And I heard Sergeant McCuskey was at 92. I bet fell out of my chair last night.
Wow,
Sarge,
really?
Sarge is killing it, man. He's hardcore like us. He's hardcore.
I wonder
Destiny.
why.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to check them out on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he said that last night on his show, the Generation X Gaming, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man! How are you ahead of me?" Because he was always kind of.
They talk more shit than
they do.
About Destiny.
They do. But I have a little kit bash shell that I have the full 12%. It's called
okay.
It's called Blinding Light. It's a 12% XP gain.
Yeah.
And then I have Prodigious Glimmer Booster, which gives us glimmer gains by 35%. That's all I can fit. That's all I can fit.
Mm-hmm.
I've got several. I've got for Crucible, I have the one where it's called no, that's the wrong one. Crucible. Here it is. I have the because I'm always running out of these. It's called Greater Core Harvest. On Precision Final Blows and Crucible, I have a chance to get an Enhancement Prism. It's 6 power for that. So, and of course, I always put a Burning Light or some kind of XP mod on it. I've got probably, as Desiree was talking about last week, I've got like 6 different ghosts per character for whatever I need. But the only thing I hate about it is I have to stop before I draw a chest. I have to stop and put my my Ultimate Glimmer shell on, which gives you 65% glimmer gain. If you really want a glimmer farm, you need glimmer to buy something or upgrade something. Dude, get that one. I got it dropped when I was doing Lost Sectors, but it dropped when I was doing all the rank up stuff. And God, it's great, man. The only problem is you have to switch to these ghosts before you do the action, like pulling chests and stuff. But what do you guys got?
I only have one masterwork, and it's the Segura shell. So yeah, I felt a little bad when I found out that
rest in peace.
Segura was dead. Yeah, but I've got Blinding Light on it and the Prodigious Glimmer Booster too.
Yeah, that's a good setup.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm looking at like masterworking more, but part of me is just like, I don't know.
The ghosts were definitely a great improvement this season.
Yeah,
I am all over that.
agree.
I'm a big farming guy. I like farming glimmer or farming mods, or not mods, but whether it's raw materials that I'm needing to buy guns with. Like, well, never mind, we'll get into that. But what do you? Without forgetting, what do you got, Sweaty? What do you got on Ghost? What do you use?
So, what was that event called in October? Forest of the Lost, is that what it was?
Oh, Festival of the Lost.
Festival of the Lost, that's it, the Halloween event.
It was a forest.
So, I mean, SweatySpookz, Halloween, love that theme, sticking to it. I have the hexing shell, and
Nice.
I had that thing masterworked first day one. I'm using blinding light, but I keep switching out between that to go with, it would be the ultimate glimmer booster, which increases glimmer gains by 65%.
Can't beat
So I've been
that,
swapping between those two.
Yeah.
And mostly I've just been sticking to PvP. I've been finding I need upgrade modules a lot more than anything else, just because I don't want to take my gear off, just because that's where my stats are. So I have a modulator for Crucible, which upgrades
Ooh, that's a good
the
one.
chance to award an upgrade module.
I like that. So I'm going to put that one out.
I have that one and the blinding light.
How often does it fall in Crucible?
Fairly often. It's not every
Every-
game, of course, but I mean, it seems like if you win, you have a much higher chance of getting
Okay.
it to drop at the end of the game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, and go ahead, Hazel.
What was I going to ask? What do you guys think of the perks that they put in? Like, what are they, like Thresh, Chain Reaction? I think Wellspring. I think Wellspring is a return from a previous season, but
I
yeah.
could see Thresh being just broken on Warlock with Geomags, maybe a bad Juju and a high intellect build. I could just see it being completely broken.
Yeah, I could see that. My build, I have a salvo with chain reaction. So what, for anybody who doesn't know, chain reaction is basically like whenever you kill something with it, each final blow creates an elemental damage explosion. So fun fact, that can kill you as well. I speak from experience. So
It's like the learning curve to using Mountain Tap. I'm going to get you. I got myself.
yeah. Well, I bought a mountaintop because I was close to getting it, and then I just said, "Nah, I'm just going to cut bait on it." But it is still actually pretty fun to use. I was really enjoying it. So, but yeah. So, what do you think besides Thresh? I'm trying to think. What were some of the other ones here?
I'll have to bring up. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think Thresh is really the only one that stood out to me so far. I don't think I've really noticed a whole lot or took notice to a whole lot else outside of that just yet. Because like my biting lens, it dropped with a rapid hit and rangefinder. Those things I'm already familiar with, and yeah, I think Thresh is really the only one that stood out to me so far.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that. I'm pretty sure that they're going to maybe have. I'm hoping like raid perks, but I'm thinking that those are just going to be like more for like ghosts and things like that.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But yeah, well, very cool. Sorry, I'm still looking to see what they are.
What do you think of the raid weapons and how they look? Have you checked them out in collections yet?
I haven't. I'm still sort of like staying back from that. I'm just like, I'm like, I want to look, but at the same time, I'm just like, I kind of want to find out how they look for myself, just because I just want to see. I just want to like kind of experience the raid all together, you know?
Yep, I could totally understand that for sure.
Cool. Well,
what about you, Gator? Have you looked at the raid weapons?
No, I'm not. I don't want to spoil it. I haven't looked at I haven't looked through. I haven't looked through very little collections other than that one rocket launcher that has like a salvo of holes around it. I love that stuff. I'm trying to remember the name of it, but I just briefly looked at it because I didn't want to get spoiled. I like being surprised on the weapons that drop. So, yeah, I haven't looked. I'll be surprised when something drops, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah. Do they look good, Sweaty?
They're beautiful. Like, that's all of them, too. Like, all of them.
Do they look?
Taking a look at this. Sorry, go ahead there.
No, I'm sorry. I was going to ask you. Say beautiful. Are they like slim, like the Garden of Salvation weapons? Like futuristic.
Yes, I'm gonna bring them back up because I wanted to get an example of one to kind of go off of without giving too many spoilers.
God, those weapons are awesome from Garden of Salvation. Beautiful weapon, and they have great sound too.
Okay, well, I know one for sure that I definitely like. So the sniper rifle, it's called Succession, and I really don't even know how to describe it. And I don't want to give you guys any spoilers, but I'm just going to say that it absolutely, it kind of...
Does it look like that exotic? Does it look like that exotic?
I said screw it, and I looked.
No, I'm not looking. No. I'm asking, does it look like the Darcy?
Kinda.
Okay.
Kinda.
That's
but
what I'm
like
thinking.
the weapon ornament of Darcy, not just actual Darcy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but no, this looks a lot slimmer, a lot
Nice.
Yeah.
a lot more badass.
It came straight out of that Exo Lab. Like that, it definitely goes along that theme.
I cannot wait. I love
I can't
great
wait to
weapons.
see the lore on these weapons.
Oh yeah. I mean, what do you guys think I think we're going to be fighting something about Clovis. Do you guys have any? Do you guys think you know what we're fighting? What the last encounter is going to be?
I have a hope.
What do you hope?
Well, didn't we see some Exo artwork of some sort from Bungie, if I'm not mistaken, that kind of looked like an Exo?
Like a super XO? Like a giant XO or like a human size?
No, it just looked like human size. It was just kind of like as if they were to take a portrait of someone, but like, I was kind of like, left a mental note for later sort of thing for whenever I see it, it'll click. And I haven't seen anything about it yet, so I'm assuming it's going to be in the raid. But
we'll see in the lore. Well, in the lore, when Clovis Bray's ready to be transferred into an exo body, someone, I won't spoil too much here, but someone sabotages it and cuts his body up and mutilates it, and all he have is his head. But he's still functioning. Somehow he's still functioning. That part you have to have. It's a stretch. But then Anastasia comes back in. Not Anastasia, Elsie comes back in, and he puts him out and puts them all back together again. So is Clovis going to finally go into an exo body, or is this going to be some other exo? It's really weird. Yeah. The lore points one way, but then another way, I don't know. I was just curious what you guys thought.
Yeah,
and was it last week the tripod, I think, where you guys discussed Clovis Bray had 44 resets? 44 resets.
Who else had 40? Who else had 44?
Somebody
resets?
else. Somebody else has. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm hoping though that it's Oryx.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be awesome? And
that would be such a twist.
In the lore,
be like,
yeah. When I was reading the lore that they released, it talked about how Osiris went to the Dreadnought to find out where these sounds were coming from, and it was said that he is alive again. I'm like, who's alive? They didn't specify. So could Oryx be coming back? Damn, that would be awesome.
Can you imagine that? You fight like Vex all the way down, and then all of a sudden it just starts like becoming taken.
Cannot wait.
And then there's Oryx's big ass going like, all right.
I'm back, bitches.
Yeah, I've got a sword for you.
Well, hey guys, great conversation. I know we can go all night talking about Destiny. I love talking about Destiny, but we got to move on, man. We got so many questions from our community, and we even have an email question tonight. So we're going to get into that right after this.
Hey Guardians, would you like to send us a question for the show? Well, there's 4 ways to do it.
Number 1, join our Discord server. There's a join link in our show notes. We have some great gamers in there, by the way, and you can just lurk or hang out or jump right in and talk with us. There's also a channel labeled Podcast Questions where you can type in your question for the show.
You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, or we also tweet out almost every week about our upcoming show, guest, and you can respond there with your questions at guardian_d_cast is our Twitter handle.
Finally, you can send us a voicemail with your questions at speakpipe.com/guardiandowncast. Remember, that's all one word. And we'll play it on the show for you guys.
SpeakPipe is honestly my favorite thing. But anyway, thank you for all you guys do, and toddles.
And later, Guardian. All right, boys and girls, it's that time of the week. This is where we get our questions from our Discord, our email, and our SpeakPipe. And no SpeakPipes this week, but we do have an email question. And it is from Marcos. And his message is this: Hello, I've been listening to your podcast lately and I have a specific curious question for the media you guys used in your 69th episode. What was the song you used during the intro? I enjoy your podcast very much. Thanks. Well, to answer your question, Marcos, I use a royalty-free music service called AudioBlocks. I pay a monthly subscription to them, and I have access to, whatever music, sound effects, you name it, that all the people in Hollywood use. And it was just one of the songs that I picked from the AudioBlocks, or that I chose from. Man, I'm tearing this up. But yeah, it's from AudioBlocks. If you want to discover, they got so much music, whether it's a sting or whether it's a full music or instrumental, whatever you want. That's where we got the sounds from and the music from. So if you want to be more specific, I can answer your question a little bit better. But yeah. All right, Hazel, what do we got in the Discord this week?
All right. So I like this one, starting off here. Not to
Okay.
put anybody in the hot seat, but question for SweatySpookz. How often do you open Crucible with back-to-back snipes and then self-destruct? Jealous.
Oh, wow. Shots fired.
Excuse me. That comes from Jealous. Thank you for checking out the stream that night, Jealous. I appreciate you. So, often. Basically what happened was I just started streaming. I didn't even do any PvE activity or anything. I just jumped straight into, I can't remember if it was comp or if it was just straight into control, straight into PvP. Anyways, I get these amazing back-to-back snipes, and I'm backing up as I go, and maybe fell off a ledge. That happens pretty often. There's a lot of times where I'm really just focused on the enemy in front of me and just trying to stay out of their way and make it not easy for them to hit me. And sometimes that results in me not paying attention to, how close or how not far away a ledge may be. And sometimes that results in me falling. And that happens pretty often, sadly. So I need to work on that.
Good question. Thanks for that question, Jealous. I've got another one here from Anubis Falls. Question for Sweaty. Do you think Gallahorn could ever come back? Even though it was broken in Destiny 1, there are so many other great DPS options that I can't see it breaking the game in the same way. What do you think?
All right. Well, I actually had to do some research to answer that one. Just let me find my research here.
Because you didn't play Destiny 1.
Yeah, I mean, I've been dabbling into it, but I've not got to experience the beautiful memories that I've been hearing that are oh so dear to people of what Gallahorn is and what it meant.
Gotcha.
So let's see here. Okay, so Gallahorn first made its non-RNG dependent debut in the Destiny world of September 19th, 2014 through Xur. Some significance with that date with me. September 19th is actually my birthday. I'm born in 92, so I'm 28
Nice.
as of this recording. I would have been 22 at the time, and sadly, still completely unaware of Destiny's existence at that time. I never really got to truly appreciate what Gallahorn was. But with that question, I still valued the question nonetheless. So I did my research, and you know what? I think it would be interesting. Now, as someone who's not experienced with Gallahorn, I would be very interested in getting my hands on that weapon and just seeing exactly what the rave is all about. Would it be broken? I don't know, because we have a Warcliffe coil. That's 7 rockets in one go. I mean, that's a lot more broken than a Gallahorn, in my opinion. But like I said, this is coming from someone who's not experienced using a Gallahorn. So I'm not sure if that answers the question or not. But I mean, I try to answer it to the best of my ability.
Yeah. I think it's more than we expected answered. Since you weren't around during those times. So, get it, man.
What do you think, Gator?
I think it would do just fine. I mean, my God, look at the that new exotic launcher I told you about tonight. Damn it, it's killing me to know what the name of this thing is. Does anybody have it up? The new exotic.
I do not.
I don't have. I have it up, but not the new exotic.
Nah.
Let's see.
Collections, maybe. Let me look.
No, it's grayed out as unknown, so I'm not sure.
It was listed, I think, in the season where they were trying to sell you on. Anyway, check it out. There's a launcher that actually looks a lot like the Gallahorn, except it has openings on the side, like it's going to throw a salvo. I don't know. I think it would do okay. I mean, my God, they've nerfed launchers where they're just about irrelevant right now. So I think right now, the way the state of launchers is now, I don't think it'd make any difference. Even with the Wolfpack rounds.
Yeah. Although, with that being said, though, I have been impressed with the performance of Sub-Zero Salvo. I mean, it's a new rocket launcher, and I've gotten quite a fair few Crucible opponents defeated with it so far. So, I mean, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, I've got one with cluster bombs, too. It's really nice.
Bad Omens?
No. I've got a Sub-Zero Salvo. With quick draw and cluster bombs. It's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, I've got a couple of them. They're nice. I like it. Just wish they were a little stronger. That's all. All right, Hazel. What do you think?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it really. I mean, breaking it too much. I mean, I don't know. I think the Wolfpack rounds would probably be a little bit better than the Wardcliffe coil. But I think that if you had the Wardcliffe coil and the Gallahorn, it kind of makes the Wardcliffe coil useless.
Wardcliffe coil is not very accurate. That's the problem. I mean,
so they get masterwork, and it's good tracking.
Right. It's better. It's better tracking, yeah. But you still, it's I don't know.
I just don't think that you could have both. I think that, I mean, they're sort of the same thing with the masterwork.
So is Gallahorn better at range? Whereas, like, for example, in my experience with Wardcliffe coil, you have to get kind of close.
All right. Think of your tracking rocket launcher that you have now, your Salvo.
Yep.
Think of 4 Wolfpack rounds coming out once it hits a target and re-hitting the target with 4. Is it 4, right?
No, I think it was like 6 or 7
6 or 8.
8 or
6 or 8
like that.
Think of it. Think of it hitting the target with the initial blast, and then 4 to 8 little rockets swimming up in the air and then hitting it again. Yeah, it's like double. It's like double damage.
Like enemies being close to that person.
Yeah, but here's and I think it had. No, I don't know if it had grenades and horseshoes, or what's that perk that Truth has. I'm looking at it here. It's called
aggressive.
No. It's called grenades and horseshoes. Where if it gets near you don't have to hit it directly. It would explode if it got near the detonate. If it gets within proximity of a certain amount of reach. I don't know. The way rocket launchers are now, I don't think it would. It would be definitely the strongest one until I see what that new exotic one's going to do this season. But I think it would fare okay. I think it would, because, my God, they've nerfed the actual damage of rocket launchers down quite a bit.
I could see people like retro people going like, hey, must have Gallahorn just for fun kind of thing. In
okay.
raids.
Yeah. All right.
Just to be trolly.
Maybe. I mean, it's such a meme. Must have Gallahorn.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. All right, Hazel, what else we got?
All right. So, question for SweatySpookz. Does the Destiny franchise have the best music in video games? Uncle Scumdeath.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good question. I suppose it depends on the kind of context that you're looking for, in my opinion. Now, Destiny they're the master of painting an environment, in my opinion. They really do a good job of immersing you into their environments, and the music just really complements that. On a personal note, though, the very first time I heard that from Halo, I was like, wow. But then again, this is all coming from the same company, Bungie. So, I mean, yeah. I'd have to say they're definitely in the top.
I have one from some dude named SweatySpookz. Question for the show. Maybe you guys already fleshed this one out on stream, but if not, I'd like to hear all your opinions on adept weapons. If Trials remains the way it is, do you think the mods that are going to be introduced will become more of a problem for Trials? And what approach would you like to see from Bungie to provide more incentive to get involved in Trials? How could it become friendly enough for newcomers to try without losing sight of the nature of Trials? That's an excellent question, SweatySpookz. What do you think, Hazel? Did you get all that?
I did, yes. So, I love the concept of adept weapons. I hate the fact that I have to play Trials to get them, though. But at the same time, that to me is a good carrot to get me into Trials, to at least try to do it and to try to get that.
Yeah, Trials just isn't my game, man. It's a very aggressive game. It's not. I'm not a passive player, but I'm I guess you could call me like I hold areas down, and when the team moves, I move. But this Trials has never been, even since Destiny 1, I've never been a fan of Trials because it favors people that like close quarters. It favors people who can run in and ape because of the way the time to kill is set up. Once you snipe or take out one of the players on the other team and the numbers are in your favor, all you got to do is just run. Just run right at them, because maybe different now with this new stasis grenade. I don't know. I'll have to find out. I'll have to research that out. But in the past, that's the whole game. Whoever gets the first kill has a big advantage, because then you can just run up, ape the rest of the team because you have the numbers, and the round's over. I don't know. I just like a little more strategy. I know I'm going to get so much hate mail for that comment, but it's just not my game type. I've tried it. I've played it a lot. I've gone flawless a few times, but it's just, I don't know. When I play Crucible, I'm the player who likes to piss people off. I want people to think, man, this guy's killed me twice now with this damn pulse rifle in this side area over here. I got to get after his ass. I got to go get his ass, and then I'll have a counter to that, and boom. But as far as to answer your question, I like the adept weapons. I think they should offer them in strike, master strikes and stuff as well. And I think they should offer them more in different game types that people play. I don't know if it's going to be enough hook for me to get back into Trials, but I'm very biased. I'm very biased here. I think the problem with Trials is it's not very newcomer or average player friendly. And because it's card-based matchmaking, not skill-based matchmaking, I think that has a big thing to do with it. I mean, your best shot basically is that first ticket, is that first match to get someone who's maybe on your level. And let's face it, most of the better players go play Trials, and you're going to go up against that. And once you get stomped on a few times and someone puts their nuts in your face a few times, it's a little hard to go back and want to play again. My 2 cents.
I mean, I went into Trials because a guy on PlayStation messaged me and he's like, "Hey, I'm just trying to get the bounty done so that way I can get the scout. Can you help?"
Yeah.
And I messaged him back and I said, I'm going to be more of a handicap than I am anything. And he's like, "Don't worry." He's like, "My KD is like 0.45. And I'm like, "Oh shit. Okay."
You suck. Get good, dude.
And I'm like, okay. And I mean, we got there. I mean, it was, one guy pretty much carried us. But I mean, I kind of held my own and that kind of thing. But I had no idea, because I hadn't gone into trials at all, that you can still get weapons from trials by losing and stuff like that. But you can still get weapons from it. So now that I know that, I'm kind of like, oh, well, shit, I need to fucking get back in the trials. But I didn't pay attention to it because I'm not a PvP god, and I think that's what I usually equate PvP to.
I'm curious what SweatySpookz thinks. I mean, that was a well structured question. What do you think, man?
I think it would be a good idea if they could introduce maybe a card tier system. So, for example, if you haven't gone maybe flawless ever, then you shouldn't be going up against people that have gone flawless hundreds of times and are sitting there farming the first game in trials and then resetting their card. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That is just completely and utterly just, in my opinion, it's not good for the environment, man. It's just like you get somebody that's like, okay, this looks like a good reward. I'd like to have that because I've sure been killed enough by it. Let's let's see what happens. Oh man. And it's just like, nope, never doing that again. And it's very discouraging. And I get it. It's a top end game activity.
I was just gonna play devil's advocate and say, but Sweaty, this is end game for Crucible.
It is. And again, that's where I come back with maybe a tier system. So that way, like I said, if you want your chance of going flawless at least one time, like it's not going to be easy, but you also shouldn't have to go against people that have farmed flawless after flawless hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times when you haven't even gone flawless once. I was lucky enough to go flawless twice. I got paired with somebody, twice, that was really good and ended up pretty well just carrying. I mean, I held my own as well, but at the same time, like if I hadn't got lucky with that pair, I never would have been able to go flawless like that. I just think it needs some work. I'm not saying it's terrible, but I'm going to say that in the state that Trials was in before, and you're going to throw adept weapons in there, there's no hope.
Well, here's the thing. And I'll add to your comment there. How do you build a community to play Trials? You get people in, you hold their hand, you show them how the game's played. You not hold your hand, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe skill-based matchmaking or tier-based. I like the tier-based idea for people who are new to Trials, and haven't gone flawless or haven't gotten 3 wins even.
And my idea of tier-based would be like 0 to 10 flawless, right. And then maybe from 10 to 50 flawless, and from 50 to 100 and then plus. But that's just my idea of it. Then
people will say that the matchmaking takes too long, and you're not going to please everybody. And the problem is Trials is such a flashpoint for this game.
Well, if you've gone flawless hundreds and hundreds of times, like I think you pretty well beat it. Go back to comp.
Yeah.
I'll probably get hate mail myself for that, but I mean, it doesn't leave a door open for anybody else to try. And that's the issue I'm seeing. It's very, I'm going to say closed-minded, and it's just for specific people. At least that's what it seemed like it was tailored to. I enjoy Trials myself. I mean, again, I'm not very good at it, but for me, I'm not a god tier player. I don't have hundreds of flawless. So to find a good player that might want a chance going through it with me is very slim. So I'm kind of in the middle in that aspect, because when you get the beginner guys, they're like, nope, I don't even want to put myself through it. You're freaking crazy. Like, how could you even bother? Why would you even? And It's just like, man, like, I want to do this, but I don't really have people that want to go through it with me. And I can't really say that I blame them either. Right. So, I mean, how do we fill that gap?
Well, streamers help, because when I watch a streamer play Trials, I'm like, it looks like fun, man. They're having a good time in there. I want to jump in. Let me see if I can get a team together. That's another
and sometimes you're lucky to get a raffle, maybe. But in my opinion, you shouldn't have to rely on that.
Exactly.
But you can't do it any other way.
And add to that you have to have a team of 3 to even join. There's no matchmaking. So
yeah, and that's the problem.
That's another obstacle.
2 other people that don't maybe mind going through 2 hours of it with me, but
yeah,
because you have your super high good players that are like, no, your elo's crap. I don't even want to bother looking at you. Don't waste my time. And then you got other people that are like, are you going to pay me? And I'm like, no. And then you got other, I don't even want to go through that. Like, you're crazy. Why would you even do that to yourself?
Just give me your password, dude. I'll do it for you. Come on.
Play the damn game. Like, come on.
Give me your account password. I'll just do it for you, dude.
Yeah, and I'll delete your account and everything in between. I mean,
I still am amazed people do that now. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, I actually friended one guy back when I don't know exactly when it was, but I friended him because he was like really good at PvP, and we kept like going back and forth. He was on the other team, and he's just like, hey, he's like, great snipes, and we were just going back and forth, and he's just like, yeah, I'm doing a recov for my friend, and I was just like, oh, nice. And I mean, the guy was just pretty solid, and I'm just like, wow. So, I mean, we played a couple times since then, and it's a good time. I mean, to play with somebody who's really, really fucking good. It's better than, playing with a bunch of blueberries that, are running into walls and random other stuff. So
they're like, no, Mike, just good luck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that'd be matchmaking though. So I don't know. It seems to me that maybe the concept of trials is something maybe more broken than we think, possibly.
All right.
And it sucks because, like I said, I enjoy playing trials. I really I find it challenging. That's what I like about it. I don't really care if somebody wants to teabag me because I'm still learning or not. That's a part of the learning curve, in my opinion. Honestly. So, oh yeah, let's go in here with top god tier players, and they realize I'm crap and they're going to teabag me because they can kill me over and over and over again using the exact same method. What am I doing wrong? And then learn from that. And okay, well, that method didn't work for you that time. And, it's one thing at a time. But like I said, for me, it's just hard to get someone that wants to go through it with you. And I can't blame them.
It just got a little bit of a black eye. I mean, there's so many really, really hardcore players that, we're talking sweat community here. We're talking people who even give the streamers a hard time. And a streamer, I've seen True Vanguard go in and play trials and have a hard, have to reset, their cards. And especially if they're trying to help someone that's new that wants to get through it. There's only so much you can do to carry a person, when you're up against sweat lords. It's just, I don't know. Anyway, I think we've beaten that subject to death. Hazel, you got another one there? Let's pick another one.
Yeah. So one more question for the show. Your welcomes at SweatySpookz. But seriously, considering the major exposition of the identity of the Exo Stranger and where she comes from, what's your guys' speculation on the status of our own Elsie?
You know what? I'm not really sure because I hear that there's a lot of lore coming out surrounding Elsie right now that I've not yet caught up on.
Yeah,
but in order to answer that correctly, I feel like I have to read through that lore. Something to do with maybe Anna betraying Elsie or possibly killing her. And see, that's the thing. I don't really know yet. And thank you, by the way, Des Raven, for your suggestion for me being on the show. I appreciate you. But yeah, it's a really hard one for me to answer without knowing the lore properly.
You got an opinion on this, Hazel?
I haven't dove into, the lore as of yet in regard to this type of thing. Right. Last I saw, Anna basically just vanished after Elsie was being pretty honest with her.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what plays out with that. It's like our own little soap opera we get to watch. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I haven't read this far in the lore. I've read the stuff that they posted. The mysterious journal. I read that through today, and my God, that's It's a great read, but it is long. There's a lot of stuff in there. And I'll just say this, Clovis Bray he's delusional. It's a delusional person. And what he puts Elsie through, and his son, of course, is just unheard of. You have to read the lore to find out. I really can't answer that. I don't know. I mean, it talked a little bit in the lore I read about her having some time travel, but I don't know enough about it. I know that Elsie did try to stop Clovis. She saw that what he was doing, and he phrased it as, no, that wasn't Elsie. That was a stranger that stuck out in my head. And that was the identity. That's why she got the name The Stranger. That it wasn't really her. So damn if I know, man. I'm just being honest. I've dabbled into lore enough to get in trouble. So, all right. I promised my son we would ask this question this week. Hang in there, guys. It's a long one, but I think you guys will get the question. This is from Cam the Jellyman. This is my son. Number creep. In World of Warcraft, another Blizzard production, they recently scaled down all the number for gear and levels. For example, the max level was 120. Now the level cap is 60. Gear would have stats like 496 strength, and now comparable gear would have like 25 strength instead. Why didn't Beyond Light do something similar? Everyone is set to 1050 light as a minimum, with a soft cap being 1200. At a certain point, numbers lose their meaning, and you're just looking for new numbers that are bigger than the old numbers. Do you think that Destiny would benefit from a number crunch downscale? Why not start from one light and the soft cap be like 100 or 200? Do you think this would help the game feel more satisfying, or do you guys just like big numbers?
I don't think he's wrong, by any means. I think the question is Destiny prepared to do that? Maybe not right this moment with everything that they've been developing in Beyond Light from home and those challenges. I think that might be a challenge for later that they want to face head on. But I definitely see that being something that they might look at later on down the road in the future.
Yeah.
Do you have an opinion, Hazel?
No, just exactly what he said. I mean,
yeah.
Personally, though, I mean, I do like big numbers. I mean, the thing is, though, is that I guess to a degree, though, our power really doesn't mean anything if you think about it. Because, I mean, no matter what our number is, it doesn't matter what activity we go into, we're scaled down or we're...
Yeah, I hate that. I hate that.
We don't have any real power.
We don't.
Well, but that's the thing, though. This is one thing I will say, is that it seems that... Now, okay, I'm sorry to use this and say this at this point in the show, but... Now, Gator, you'll have to kind of back me up here, possibly. But it seems to me that on PC, it seems like I feel more powerful. I feel faster.
Yeah, I can tell you why.
I kind of feel like everything that I felt like I was missing from D1 into D2. I just feel more... I mean, I don't want to say like a god. I just feel more powerful.
It's three little letters, man. It's FOV. FOV makes your gun recoil less because you're seeing more of your gun. It changes the physics of everything. As you're walking, things seem to be going by faster because you're seeing more of it. You're not looking through a tube like you are in a console. Nothing against the console guys out there. I mean, here's what you're going to answer next week's show. And we're going to have our clan show next week, guys. Our clan's going to be on next week. Anybody in our clan is welcome, by the way. Just throwing that out there. I want to know how you feel going from playing on your PC and going over and playing on your PS4. I'll let you play with it a little bit first and see. Everyone makes fun of me having to adjust my eyes. I want to see what you think once you do this a few times. I'll wait for next week for your answer. I'll let you experiment a little bit, but yeah, just curious. All right, was that me or you? Well, that was me. So it's your turn, Hazel.
Actually, I see a question here. Do you mind if I pop this
one? Go for it.
Sure.
All right, sure. So this question stood out to me because I know that it directly affects me. So I thought I'd ask you guys this one. So question for the show. How much sleep do you need at night? Does gaming mess with your quality of sleep?
Hazel, since this is from your wife.
Well, for me, I can get by on roughly like 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night, and I can function pretty well. The next day, I just need some coffee, that kind of thing. Does gaming mess with my quality of sleep? Not in the least. I can game and fall asleep in the middle of a game. I can like game after we podcast here and then go upstairs and I'm out in probably 5 minutes.
Yeah. Same. I need, I've trained myself to get 6 hours. 7 is my number. If I get 7 hours, I feel really good the next morning, but I can go for 6 is what I normally get. And, no, I can play Crucible, get all fired up, heart rate going a little bit, and then, take the dog out for its little midnight run to go to the bathroom and then get right in bed and go right to bed. It doesn't affect me in the least. And usually I don't go to bed until I'm tired. I refuse to go to bed if I'm not tired. So if it's 3 a.m. when I go to bed, it's 3 a.m. when I go to bed. So as you get older, I think you don't need as much sleep. Maybe, I'm guessing. I know you growing boys and girls out there need your sleep, but because you're still growing, but I'm not growing anymore. So I don't think I need the sleep. And there's a reason why old people get up really early in the morning. It's because they go to bed at 9 o'clock.
They have to pee.
The other reason, the other reason is they just don't need the sleep. They don't need it. So do you have an answer?
What about you, Sweaty?
Yeah.
For me, it doesn't mess with my quality of sleep. I usually need bare minimum 4 to 5 hours just to function, wake up and kind of like Hazel, have a coffee. And by the time, I every morning with my job, I start work at 7:30 in the morning. Prior to that, I have to, if like tonight, for example, if I had to work tomorrow, my wife's working overnight, I have to get up earlier, make sure that I'm showered, clean, and shaven and all that stuff. I say shaven, but I just mean underneath my neck because I have a beard.
Right.
But anyways, enough time to get myself ready, get my daughter out of bed, her bum change, clothes on, ready out the door, go pick up a coffee, drop her off to daycare, go to work. So I'm getting up the alarms start at 5. It doesn't mean I always get out of bed at 5 in the morning. Sometimes it's 5:36. Just to give myself enough time to kind of sit in the shower, wake up, let the water beat off of my back and my face and wake me up a little bit. And by the time I get out of that, I'm usually like, okay, I'm ready to get dressed. I'm ready to get my daughter ready. And as soon as I get her in the car, I know I'm going to get a coffee. By the time I have that coffee, I'm usually feeling better about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm good for the entire day. There have been times where maybe I stayed up a little bit past maybe 2, maybe even past 3. And that alarm goes off 2 hours later, and I'm like, no. But yeah. Same routine. I end up feeling like I can't stay in bed past 9 or 10 o'clock, and I'm like, why did I call in? I definitely could have suffered through that 1 or 2 hours of pain just to get through it, and then I would have been fine.
Right.
So I feel that for sure. Does it mess with my quality of sleep? I don't think it does. It does maybe if I push myself too far, but I'm usually pretty all right. Now, it's not the gaming that hurts it. Once I get into bed, I turn on a show, and I'm watching a show while I'm falling asleep. Right. The boys. Mm-hmm. That's what keeps me up.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I think that's the thing that kind of will keep me up is basically if I watch something like, I don't know, like The Boys, for example. If I'm watching that, I get kind of hyped up. I get more hyped up for that than I do like playing Crucible or something else.
Yeah.
Yep.
At least like binge watching or something like that, and it's like, oh shit! Before I know it, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, but I have to see what happens next.
No,
Exactly.
See, the key is go in a dark room, turn all the lights out, and go to bed, and you'll go to sleep. Now,
as soon as that laptop closes, I'm out.
Now, if I yell "suck it, Hazel" in the morning, my wife wakes up, then I can't be responsible for that part.
I don't want to know what you're dreaming about.
Oh God, I walked into that one.
Was Luke Smith there?
Shit.
His flesh
Was Luke Smith fighting Hazel?
Oh, damn it.
Oh God.
Good answer. All right. How about we tackle? I gotta ask this one because this is very time sensitive. This is from Agent H, our mod here in the Discord. He goes, question for the show: with my last day at a current job being a
Which
week
is
from
today.
which is today, should I request it off? And we'll tell you right now, from the future, I would have requested it off, especially if you have the time, man. If you have paid time off, hell yeah, dude. That's what I always did that when I was in a quit a job. I'd use my vacation time at the end of it. I don't know.
I mean, that's just 8 hours of how much you ever have built up. So
Yeah, you've earned that.
if you've been there for a while, right?
Right. So, sorry, Agent H. I think you put that in late because that just appeared, didn't it, this week? Or
No,
was
it
that
last week?
That was a little while
it was
ago.
during the
It
tripod.
was last week.
It's a tripod.
Yeah.
Sorry, Agent
Yeah.
H. We got to that one late.
I mean, I always showed up on my last day, so I could tell, like, say bye to everybody and that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
You know.
it would all depend on I've had some really crappy jobs, so there's times
Well, yeah.
I was like,
it
good
depends,
riddance.
you know, and how long you've been there. Yeah.
Call center environment, your last day was usually, where'd Colby go? Oh, he's moved on. Okay. And
Yeah.
then I get the message afterwards, man, I didn't get to say goodbye. And I'm like, sorry, I was done.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
I mean, I'm not sure if you guys ever worked in a call center environment, but
No, thank God.
the reason why I hated it so much was because I was good at it. And I don't know if you know what it's like working with a group of people and you're like the best at your job. You end up doing everybody else's job for them and you don't get paid any extra. And if you don't hold up that quality, then everybody just kind of starts raising eyebrows at you like, dude, what the fuck? And
Yeah.
it's like, I've done this for you how many times, explained it to you how many times, and you're still not doing it. Expect me to do it for you, and I'm not getting paid more for that. So,
Right.
moving on.
Right.
That's my life right now, man.
Yeah, I feel your pain, Hazel. I truly understand.
And
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
appreciate you. Yep.
Big dig energy.
How about a question each, Hazel? And we'll call it a night.
All right.
I know mine.
I bet you do. We'll go with this one. Uncle Scumduff. What is the worst bug you've seen in a video game? Mine is the woolly mammoths dropping from the sky in Skyrim, and a set of legs walking around also in Skyrim. Love the show.
You know, is it all right if I start that one?
Absolutely. You always do, by the way.
Okay. Have you guys ever heard of this game? It's called Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I have heard of that.
If you're what is it, role-playing game? Yeah, RPG. If you're an RPG fan, I highly suggest giving that game a run through. It's amazing. But in that game, there's these giant spiders, and I mean, I wouldn't say I have arachnophobia by any means, but I don't like spiders particularly. And for some odd reason, just in that one game, the big, massive, like there's some spiders that are like still big, like human size, but there's some big spiders in there at some point. It might be like a boss or something. And oh boy, it kind of gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, because I'm sitting there trying to picture if I ever had to come face to face with something that size. And I don't know, something like at a Lord of the Rings, if you remember that spider that got Frodo at one point.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm just like, ooh.
And then someone taps you on the shoulder and you punch them.
yeah, exactly.
I'm really enjoying this, where this is going.
What about you, Hazel? Is there a bug in a sort of a game that kind of got you a little creeped out, or?
Well, see, I took this in terms of like glitches.
Oh, okay. I thought he was talking about actual insects.
No, I think he was talking glitches, but no, the bugs, that's good. I like that one.
I did not like that at all. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah. So the only thing I could think of was the one from what was it, like Assassin's Creed, one of those Assassin's Creed games where like the guy had like no face. It was just eyes and teeth. Ooh. It looked pretty scary, actually. I think it was the one from Assassin's Creed in London. But yeah, it was definitely a fun little glitch to see, and apparently it like caused a whole bunch of issues.
I don't really have any really cool bugs. I know the one that I'm most annoyed with is when I play Destiny and I'm getting a collect, whatever item patrol, and when you shoot the person, the actual whatever moat or whatever it is falls through the floor. And I tell you, lately, it's too bad you just switched to PC, because PCs have been very glitchy lately. I think it all has everything to do with this new host, but I've had where I'll shoot a dreg, he'll flash forward and then come right back to the same spot and punch me. I'm like, whoa. Little things like that. I don't have a real good answer for this, but that's the things that annoy me. And of course, all I play is Destiny. That's going to change soon, but yeah. Good question. I have one more question here, and it is from Mr. Chris 3711.
Oh shit!
Question for the show: how should I feel about the fact that Hazel has had a PC for almost a week now, and I have not gotten a single game invite? Ooh, wow.
You smell that? It smells like burning. Like, I don't know, maybe a fire lit up underneath Hazel? I don't know.
He's awfully quiet. What do you think, Hazel? That question's addressed to you.
Oh, that question.
Don't give me that I wasn't listening bullshit either.
Yeah, no. I read when this was posted, and then my wife even pointed it out to me as well.
Oh, wow.
I appreciate her. Well, him and I just have two different schedules, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, but I'm looking at getting that fixed, maybe on Sunday, because he does a Sunday morning stream, which I chimed into this past Sunday. I've been into a couple of his streams, actually. One of the songs that he played in his stream is actually a song that I picked for tonight, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, definitely check out his stream. But yes, I do plan on rectifying that.
Hey, Chris,
I see him on.
Chris, if it's any consolation, I haven't gamed with him yet on PC either. I think I helped.
It's supposed to be Call of Duty.
He's got to designate the week for that, but I think he's going to give me a little grace here because it's raid time. But yeah, I'm on it. I'm on honor it. No doubt. Hey, everybody. Great questions. Man, you guys just blow us away with questions. And if we didn't get to yours, we will definitely get to it next week. We just have to space them out. And, this show could go on for 5 hours if we let it. But just remember, there's 3 ways to get questions to us. You can email us at guardiandowncast.com. All the deets are right there. You can send us a SpeakPipe. That is speakpipe.com/guardiandowncast. Or you can also send them in our Discord under our channel podcast questions. So thanks for that. All right, guys, time to wrap it up. This is our last segment of the show. This is where we pick our songs for our award-winning Guardian Downcast show playlist. A little sample of what all of us like to listen to here, and we invite you to listen to it as well. Just search for Guardian Downcast show playlist on Spotify. And of course, I usually put the links in our show notes, and then there's always a channel with a link in our Discord. And of course, we're on iTunes as well for all you Apple guys out there. We have now 465 songs, 33 hours, and 19 minutes of music. And this is representing all of our past guests from all of our other episodes. So check it out. There's a diverse line of music in there, that's for sure. And Mr. SweatySpookz, I'm curious to see what you picked tonight, man. What do you got?
All right. So let me see here. I got to find the name of the song. I know the first one I mentioned was Coulter Wall. Devil Wears a Suit and Tie. Wow. This young man, I cannot say enough about it. Okay, the first thing I want you to realize is I am a freak for heavy metal. Like Lamb of God, my number 2. Okay. Number 1 is Pantera, 100% Dimebag Darrell.
Old school.
So the fact that I'm even talking about country music is kind of a big deal for me. But if it's done right, I can't argue with it. Johnny Cash, for example, like hands down, I'm not going to argue with it. Give me everything you got, like everything. Now this young man, excuse me, he comes from Saskatchewan, so he's a Canadian boy. He kind of resonates home with me, but that's not the reason why I picked him. I think I kind of hit it home with Hazel. We were chilling in the Chris 3711 stream the other day. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to choose a different song by Coulter Wall that isn't Devil Wears a Suit and Tie. And we chose a song called Blacktop to listen to, Sleeping on the Blacktop, in the stream. And I was like, I just want you to listen to this, and I just want you to let me know if you get any Johnny Cash vibes from this young man. And everybody agreed, yeah, he's definitely got that sound to him. He's got the feel for it. He just, like, the first time I listened to him, I was completely floored. I was expecting to see some 30-plus-year-old, big bearded, like big, large man singing behind a mic, and he's like this 17-year-old kid. And I was like, wow. And his country is very blues based, which I think is why it resonates home with me so much. But Devil Wears a Suit and Tie, please give it a listen. Like, it is so worth it. And this young man is definitely not given the credit he deserves. Moving on to my second song is it kind of touches on a personal note. And I was saving this for the last little bit. Earlier in the show, you had asked me if there was something about me that maybe not everybody knew about me. And I wanted to tie this in with my song.
Okay.
This is going to be my only heavy bit, and it just kind of comes from my past. But I have struggled with addictions for a long time as a young man. I mean, now I'm probably going on 11 plus years of being clean of illicit, illegal drugs, I'll say. And now the way I'm sitting is 9 months clean of cannabis as well. So, I mean, I'm completely free of all of that stuff. I mean, I still smoke the odd cigarette here and there, but it's not like 2 packs a day or anything. It's like a pack a week, and it's only when I'm working. So if you ask me, that's a big accomplishment. And this song by Disturbed, A Reason to Fight, is a very emotional song for me. This song came to me when I feel like I kind of hit rock bottom. I mean, most people, you'll hear their stories about how, they got into the alcohol and this, that, and the other thing. It's kind of a similar story, except it involved cannabis instead of alcohol. There is a medical condition that not a lot of people are aware of or know about. It's called cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. If you have experimented or even tried cannabis, you may have experienced something that's I call cotton mouth or dry mouth. Basically, your mouth feels really dry. This is a full body version of it. And what it does is you get cannabinoids that you're inducing through smoking. And it's all stored in your organs, and it gets in the way of your receptors from doing their job. So whenever I was smoking an ounce a week, which is a lot, that's $240 Canadian a week worth of cannabis, which is a lot. And I was also mixing it with tobacco at the same time. Basically what happens is your receptors can't do their job. So your body goes into full reject mode. And I was throwing up for maybe a month to a month and a half. I wasn't working at that time, and it was very, very challenging. Like, I lost maybe 25 to 30 pounds in just the first 2 days. All my water weight was gone. I was down to basically skin and bones, and I've since gained 60 to 70 pounds. So whenever I walked out of detox, I decided to take the help. They gave me a call and said, hey, we got a bed for you. Like, it's your first time, so you have a priority. Usually you go in for 7 days, and them knowing that I had a child, if I left without doctor's consent, they would actually call Child Protective Services, which kind of put my child at risk. And if there's anything that any of you fellas know about me, I am absolutely taking the role of a father 110% seriously. My mom's father was a raging alcoholic and committed suicide when she was 4 years old. So I kind of got to see what the absenteeism of a father, how that impacts a little girl. The person I call dad is not my blood father. That kind of plays into earlier when I mentioned about my siblings. I found out that he was also an alcoholic and a drug user. And I kind of, whenever I turned into an adult, took, instead of an inch, a whole 10 miles and dove straight into pills first. But anyways, this song really represents whenever you're doing those substances, you're not yourself. And you're kind of a ghost of yourself, watching yourself do all these things that aren't who you are. And you're ashamed of yourself. But whenever you get sober, you have to answer for who that other person was and what they were doing. this song gave me a reason to continue on, to push through all of that, not to give up, not to give in to the temptations of suicide, as it would have been easier to just kind of throw it all in the bag and give up than to deal with it. But that's not the kind of man I wanted to be. And that's what this song represents, a reason to fight. And it was really a turning point for me. So, and it's also a good listen. I mean, Disturbed, man, whenever they get into those songs, like, it's not so heavy. It's actual, just like calm, quiet, not calm, I guess. But whenever they get melodic with their music, they really hit it home. So anyway, sorry to kind of drop that heavy bomb on you guys, but that's just really what it represents for me. It represents overcoming my challenges as an individual, becoming a better version of myself, a healthier version of myself, gaining all my weight back, and succeeding at overcoming everything that I was facing at that time.
Wow.
Man.
That's amazing, man.
Thanks for sharing that, dude.
Yeah, sorry it was so long, but
no, you know what?
You know what,
though? There might be someone listening to this podcast this very moment that may hear your story and decide to turn their self around too. Yeah. So I think it's important.
It's not easy, but it is definitely worth it once you get to look back. And I kind of worded it this way whenever I was in detox. It's like each decision you make, you're given a little pebble. And you get to decide where you put that pebble. And sometimes you drop that pebble and you just keep moving forward with these pebbles of decisions. Right. But eventually you have to turn around and look at that path that you had built out of those pebbles. So what path do you want to take?
Wow, that's a great way to put it. Thanks, man. Thanks for sharing that. I know that had to be hard to share, man. Thank you.
Not at all. Thank you. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to talk about it.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's what this show's about, man.
Exactly.
It really is.
This is to celebrate you, man.
Exactly. Yep. Well, Hazel, sorry you have to follow that up, buddy. I like it. It's a good song.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here are two songs that I like, and go forth and listen to them. They're good. So, like I alluded to before, the first song is one that Chris 3711 was playing in his stream, and it's that was a crazy game of poker, and it's by OAR. It's got a little bit of a a reggae vibe, which that's what OAR is kind of known for, but then it kind of takes a little twist near like maybe the last third of the song and goes a different direction, and it's a good song. There you go. And then I was actually going to add Sleeping on the Blacktop by Coulter Wall. I was going to, and then I was like, well, I don't want to add it right now. I'll probably add it maybe next week. But yes, I've listened to that a whole lot since then. So thank you so much for that.
Yes, sir.
But I ended up adding a song called "I Need a Dollar" by Aloe Black. I kept going back and forth between one of these two songs, and I just went with this one just because it's a little more bluesy, a little more soulful, and it just kind of hits me right in the chest whenever I hear it.
That's a great song. I've heard that one. Yeah, Aloe Black's great. Well, okay, for my first pick, what I've been trying to do is pick something new and then something old, right? Because I'm so old and decrepit. Now I want all these youngins to know what kind of music I listened to as a kid. So,
Serge Tankian from Rage Against
don't. Let's just forget about the past. We don't want to dwell on the past. We want to look at the future. All right. Well, I'm going to start with a brand new artist tonight. I actually heard them on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. This Auckland, New Zealand singer and songwriter, whose name is Stella Rose Bennett, by the way, won consecutive 2019 and 2020 Single of the Year and Best Solo Artist. This was a New Zealand Music Awards. She was actually raised in a musical family and was influenced by bands such as Radiohead and Bjork. Hell, I can listen to Radiohead all day long. She started as a popular local artist in 2017. The rest is history. Everybody knows about her now. Now she's been on a national TV show. But I picked a song that that she actually sung that night, and it's from her brand new album, Hey UX. The letter U and the letter X. And the song has Happened to Me, and the artist is spelled Benny, Benee, all caps, by the way. And it's just a nice slow groove. You had a hard day. I like songs like that. You know, you had a rough day, you had a customer bitch you out or something, and you come home and just pop that in, not in the shower, but you know, just pop it in and listen to it. It's pretty nice. It's a nice groove. I had to put that on tonight. For my second pick, I first heard this song from the movie Vision Quest, starring a young Matthew Modine and a very young Linda Fiorentino, and even Madonna was in this movie. Everyone probably knows this song, but I have to put it in every playlist I make, it seems. It's from a Canadian rock band that never had a song in the top 40 in the US, but they were very popular in the 80s in Canada. Formed in Toronto in 75, the band Red Rider and their iconic song, Lunatic Fringe, still gets me going after all these years. So there's my old song. As requested, Mrs. Gator has chosen a song for this week. You guys get a kick out of the song. She says, if you like surprises, rainbows, or kittens, you'll love Rainbow Kitten Surprise. I chose their latest song called Our Song. It's a very unique song. I think you guys will love it. It is. I listened to it while we were getting ice cream one night, and it's out there. It's a good song, though. I like it. Zan, SantaFan 711 had a pick. He says, I just noticed there's no Minus the Bear on the playlist, and that made me sad. So here's some more Minus the Bear. And he chose their song Ice Monster. Can't wait to hear it, Zan. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I usually post some songs of our picks, by the way, usually in music video form, in our music and TV channel in our Discord. So look for that after the show post, usually midweek. Guys, that's a wrap. I think we got another episode in the can, as 30 and Still Gaming would say. For our listeners out there, we have 70 other episodes out there, interviews from gamers all over the place, in especially the Destiny community. And if you're just finding out about us or listening to them backwards, SweatySpookz, you might want to check them out. The interview, I know some of the TWAB and information is probably not timely, but the interviews are fantastic. That's why I love doing this show. So just a little bit of housekeeping. Just a reminder, we do have a Destiny 2 clan. We do invite you to be a part of it if you're looking for a clan out there. I usually post links in the show notes and all that good stuff. And Hazel, I was curious. Are you going to offer anything for high season score this season? I was just curious if we want to do that again. I might help you with that if you decide to.
This season?
Yeah. We'll talk.
Guess.
We'll talk about it.
I mean,
I was just curious.
Yeah. Well, actually, was it Helios?
Helios and Larman, Kentucky were the two.
Helios, if you listen to this, you need to let me know, buddy. You know, who am I donating to?
Yeah, that was a great thing to do. I like that.
I'm just going to call you out.
Do it. Hey guys, do us a favor. You know, spread the word if you like what you're listening to tonight, especially if you like Destiny. Spread the word. Let everybody know where we're at. That's really the only way we grow, really. And give us an iTunes review. If you're an iTunes listener, give us a review. It helps people search us out a little easier. And we'll even possibly read your review on the air. We'll just have to see. We appreciate everything you guys and gals do out there for us. And we hope we made your week at least a little less stressful with all the shit going on in the world right now. Won't even get started there. You can find us on whatever podcast catcher you use out there, and you can listen to it directly from our website, guardiandowncast.com. You can also email us at guardiandowncast@gmail.com, and we're on Twitter at guardian_D_cast. Show questions or whatever you guys want to talk to us about, or just go visit guardiandowncast.com for all the details. And by the way, you can play our shows directly from that site as well. And also, we just started an Instagram account. Search for Guardian_Down_cast. And we're trying to add things from our guest. And Mr. SweatySpookz gave us a lot to post tonight. So I'll let Hazel do the honors there and throw those in sometime this week coming up. And I'm just curious, SweatySpookz. I know you just started streaming and trying to get a community started. Do you want to give any shout outs where people can find you or find out about you?
Yep. So if you're interested in checking out the stream, you can catch me at twitch.tv/SweatySpookz, SweatySpookz. You can also find my SweatySpookz Discord channel, just SweatySpookz space capitals TTV. We're always looking for people to join in and play the game with. I mean, as long as you're not toxic, you're more than welcome to come play anytime. We're always looking for people for comp. So please feel free to join us and just let us know what's going on. And hey, more people to play with. Why not, right?
You guys play on Xbox, right?
Yeah, from all of us, as far as I'm aware, are on Xbox right now. But I mean, if there's other people on different platforms that still just want to connect and say hi, whatever else, that's totally fine. And coordinate with yourselves and maybe to do some PlayStation hookups or PC, whatever you guys do, that's totally cool with me. Absolutely.
Good deal, man. Well, hey, you are a very polished gentleman, man. It was a great interview tonight. And I'm not talking like I'm your dad or anything, but I'm sorry if that sounded that way. But I was very impressed, man. You were a great guest tonight. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Yep, that's what it's all about, my friend.
You got it. Hazel, how can people find you, dude?
Well, I'll tell you this. He stole that line about the polish because I actually sent that.
Yes, you did.
I was like, wow. I was like,
no,
this guy is polished as.
No. You said this guy is effing polished as hell.
Sorry.
And we're very impressed, is what we're trying to say.
Yes. Hazel, NT, anywhere, everywhere.
Yeah, good deal, man. Love that branding. You can find me at Todd the Gator on the old Twittersville. It's GATR, by the way. And you can find me on YouTube, Steam, and PS4. Gator, GATR, all caps, underscores in between, and Gator Space GDC on Xbox. And you know what? What better way to finish the show out than a good old Scum Death's Corner? So I'm going to play it right now.
Hello, and welcome to Scum Death's Corner. Yesterday, I had to take my motorbike for its annual test. In the UK, it's called an MOT. So it was really grubby and muddy because of all the shit weather we've been having. So I said to my missus, I've got to wash my motorbike before the MOT. She's like, why is that? I'm like, well, to be honest, if you were going to the gynecologist because you had a problem down there, you'd wash it first, wouldn't you, before they had a look at it? If you go if you got to go to the dentist, you brush your teeth before you go, don't you? So if I was a mechanic, I would want it to work on a clean vehicle, not a dirty one. So she found this quite hard to understand, but, I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, love you all. Just had to get that one off my chest. Bye.
Continue to be safe out there, everybody. Take care of one another.
Stand tall, Guardian. This battle is lost, but there will be others.
Thank you all so very much for listening. And later, Guardian.
Toddles.
Dick energy.
Dude, that was great. Great show. I know it went long, but it's really cool, man, your story and what you had to say.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm glad Des Raven suggested you come on the show because I'm glad we did.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Little cliffhanger maybe for some of your outtakes if you want.
Go for it.
But earlier we were discussing the possibility of SweatySpookz TTV Discord. Possibly starting up a podcast. It's not for sure yet, but maybe join the Discord. Keep your ears peeled and your eyes peeled as well. And who knows? There just might be a SweatySpookz podcast coming out, Destiny related, to a podcast provider near you.
Well, I know you'd definitely be able to pull it off, dude. You got a great radio voice.
I definitely have lots of questions in regards to that, but I mean, I can save that for later and just message you guys about that.
Sure. We'll be helpful. Dude, we're just paying it forward because there were people in our community that do podcasts that helped us.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It's our duty to pass it forward, so.
Oryx's big ass going like, all right.
I'm back, bitches.
I've got a sword for you.